the known racist, white nationalist, individual who believes in regressive policies to stop the progress of black people, Nick Fuentes. Well, they went on a podcast, and this is what happened.
Wow, bro, you can say it.
Say it. Come on, man. I want you to say it.
For real. Yeah, what you got?
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Is anyone going to hit me if I say it?
No. 2 hours. Come on, Nick. What you got?
All right.
So they wanted a known racist to say the N-word in front of everybody. They decided to encourage him to do so, made it a game, a joke, something playful. I understand the inclination to platform someone who has opposing views. I do that here myself. But I do it in order to provide challenge to the negative, hurtful, and antithetical commentary and positions they hold. You see, policies kill people. Bad policies kill people. He supports bad policies. Individuals make laws based upon his white supremacist organization. And these laws have a detrimental impact on communities around this nation. It is no laughing matter whatsoever. And I will say this to the two gentlemen who founded the podcast, and let's put them up full mass. A lot of people appreciate and enjoy the podcast. I think some of the content is actually noteworthy. However, in this moment or in that moment, I think that was a historical mistake. I want to say this to you, gentlemen, Mr. Walter Weeks and Myron Gaines. We teach people how to treat us. And when we teach them how to treat us, by way of either bending over in places we should not, let's keep the picture up, by either bending over in places that we should not, or by challenging individuals appropriately. We then teach that person how to treat everybody who looks like us too. Understand what you're doing. Walter Weeks and Myron Gaines started their show in October of 2020. They are known for discussing controversial topics such as modern dating, race debates, politics, and other current events. They got blowback last year after Weeks said, quote, "Most black girls are annoying, are ratchet, and don't know how to converse," end quote. Fuentes appeared on the podcast's latest episode, which was released July 8th. The host invited 8 black women on the podcast to help co-host, as women do regularly appear on the podcast as the show welcomes an opposing view. And at one point, this also happened during the interview. Here it is.
Thanks for it. He gave it to you. I don't know what you
What is the point, Myron? What is the point?
Bro, we're finished, bro. We're finished.
All right, and let's put up the twerking. This happened as well. One of whom
Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Drake, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fucking where my mask at. The mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side managed shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. Ski mask with the K, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. Ski mask with the K, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. Ski mask with the K, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. Ski mask with the K, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler in cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out nigga like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger nigga, it'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. Ski mask with the K, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. Ski mask with the K, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right, everybody. All right. What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday afternoon to you, man. Happy Thursday afternoon, everybody. All right. This one ain't going to be long, man. This was probably do about an hour and a half, maybe even an hour. Because I don't think it's going to be a lot to cover with this Fresh and Fit thing, man. They just really outdid themselves on this one. But we're gonna try to talk about it as best we can. And then Diamond Axe said you got to come up here and tell me a few things. Tell me a few good things about Fresh and Fit. I would love to hear that. So let them come up here and do that. So anyway, but first thing first, let's deal with the business. Shout out to Brother Eric, man, better known as 16 to Life, for letting us use music, man. Shout out to him. relapse. Don't relapse. That's the title of the song is Relapse, right? Clarence, you playing gangster music? No. The title is called Relapse. And anybody, any one of us could relapse, right? We could go back to doing the dumb stuff we was doing before, God found his way to pull us out of it, right? God had mercy on us and pulled us out of it. Sometimes God got mercy on us and we still crazy, right? We still out there doing a bunch of crazy stuff, right? But then shout out to the Lord of the universe, man, because I know he had mercy on me. I definitely know he had mercy on me. All right, let me Clarence, what's going on with you, man? What's going on with you, Clarence? Okay. But shout out to Brother Eric, man. Go over there, check out his YouTube page, 16 to Life. Good brother, man. A lot of funny stories. Brother Eric did 24 years out there in California penal system, man. And but he got smart, man. He started saying, I could go home. They start giving lifers a parole. He said, I can go home if I just get my act together, man. So he got his act together and started reading on how to talk to parole board, man, and he got out. He got out, man. So shout out to Brother Eric, man. Good job, man. Appreciate you, man. Then, of course, he let us use this music, man, because he believe in this. He believe in the overall job that we're trying to do over here, man. Try to get these young men up out of the situation that they in, man. Crazy. And this guy got a little bit to do with Fresh and Fit. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But go over there and subscribe to 16 to Life if you haven't already subscribed to him. Check him out, man. Give him a shot, man. He got a lot of funny stories over there, man. A lot of funny stories. All right, let's see. That's Brother Eric. Okay, so what we're going to do, man, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to check everybody in, man. Let's check everybody in. Let's see. Who's in the house, man? Who's in the house? Who's in the house, y'all? Who's in the house, y'all? Remember Run DMC? Diamond Axe in the house, man. Shout out to Diamond Axe, man. Glad to have you in the building, brother. If you're still hanging around, man, hopefully you'll come up here and give us some redeeming qualities about Fresh and Fit. We love to hear them. Who else in the house? Our resident snipers in the house. Risa Neal's in the building. She said, good evening, everyone. Please smash the like button. Thank you, Risa. Appreciate you. You got to have an enforcer out there. You got to have somebody out there to Charles respect. And they definitely respect Risa Neal, man. Shout out to you, sis. Glad to have you in the building. Got my sister, OG Patrice, in the building. She said greetings and salutations, family. Shout out to Patrice. I think Patrice will be up here in a little while. So don't miss that. Don't miss that treat. Who else in the building? Who else in the building? M. Mills, another enforcer, right? It's our second sniper. We got two snipers. We got the original sniper and we got M. Mills, our other sniper, coming through. Shout out to M. Mills. Glad to have you in the building, man. Another person that the trolls respect, man. They say, hey, Risa and M. Mills, that ain't the place for us to go, right? That is not the place for us to go. We'll get sat down real quick over there playing games. Shout out to you, M. Mills. Glad to have you in the building, sis. Who else is in the building? Brother Von Bryant in the building, man. Greetings, peace, joy, love, and longevity, man. Now, that is how you enter a room, man. Shout out to you, brother. Good to have you in the building. Brother Von Bryant in the building, man. Who else is in the building? Who else is in the building? Who else is in the building? Man, Vaughn said, dear God, please don't let me relapse. Yeah, dear God, please don't let me relapse. Who else in the building? Don Frank said, hello, everyone. Shout out to Don Frank. Good to have you in this building, sis. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Don Frank said, amen, bro C. Amen, brother C. Who else in the building? Jeff Short. Brother Clarence in the chat. Shout out to you, Jeff. Good to have you, man. Haven't seen you in a while, man. But glad to have you in the building, man. Don Frank said, snipers all through the building. I guess Don Frank said she'll snipe you too, man. If you quit. You start playing with Bro C, gonna snipe you too. Uh-oh, y'all. Uh-oh. One of y'all did something, man. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. One. What? You want to talk about this, or you want to wait until after the program, or what? How you want to do this, sis? I got a little emergency, folks. Hang tight. Okay. All right. We'll talk about it afterward, because it wasn't me, so I don't know what happened. But like I said, YouTube does a lot of crazy stuff, right? They do a lot of stuff. So I didn't take nothing away from nobody. Never do that. But unless, they do something real fugazi, but of course she didn't do nothing fugazi, so I didn't do nothing. But I haven't even been in the administrative part of the channel in a couple of months, so I haven't done anything. But we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Where was I, y'all? What was I? I was going through the chat, man. Okay. Let's see. Who else in the building? My sister Don Frank. She said snipers all through the building. I guess Don Frank is gonna get you too, man. Brother Von Eric says, blessings, assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, sir. Oh man, glad to have you in the building, my brother. Good to see you, brother Von Eric, man. Brother Diamond Axe says, YouTube be doing some nonsense. Yeah, man, especially to me. I be trying, Brother Diamond. I try to just give the young brothers a message of reality. I try to give them reality. I know a lot of people try to, get them a mix of truth mixed with falsehood, but I try to give them reality, man. I try to make it funny sometimes, but I try to give them reality on how things are, man. And they always come and get me. These other people, man, they giving them all kind of, they giving them arsenic, and they just let them be out here giving them arsenic, man. Me, I'm giving them good food. I'm giving them vegetables and good food, man. I'm giving them steamed vegetables, man. They come and they mess with me, man. They ghost my videos. They do all kind of stuff to me, man. And a lot of times they don't even tell me. I just go the next day to go look at the video, just to take a look at it, see what I can learn from it, and it's gone. That happened to me about at least 3 times, man. I'm like, what? This last time when I had the stuff on there with Vlad TV, at least they told me, they said, hey, you could trim this part out, which is what they used to do. Then they stopped doing it for a while. Now they back doing that again. So, okay, cool. But I don't know what happened, man. We gonna get to, but I tell you what, though, we gonna get to the bottom of it. That's for sure. Yeah, we probably will, Diamond X. We'll create that platform, Diamond, so that we can go there. All you gotta do is put it out there, man. We go there, right? Don Frank said, keep doing what you're doing, bro. See, I appreciate you, Don. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you. He said, if you want some BS like Fresh and Fit, you won't have any problem. Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. Man. They got a lot of truth mixed with but they mix it with the falsehood, right? They got some truth, but they're mixing it with the falsehood, and they leading these young cats astray, telling them it's about the bag, right? If you get your bag up, you can bag women. Yeah, that is true. That's the truth. You can bag women. The problem is you're gonna waste a lot of time bagging unworthy women, and by the time every man gets to a point in his life where he's looking for a woman of some, got some sense in her head, right? I mean, even a pimp, even Sugar Free got married at some point because he thought this girl had some sense in her head. I mean, everybody's gonna look for, at a certain point, every man is gonna be looking for a woman of that's of character, man. And what these dudes is teaching is, hey man, if you get enough money, it's basically Kevin Samuels 2.0.5, right? I mean, it's just like, if you get enough money, you can do whatever you want to do, right? And I keep telling y'all, man, see, and that is only gonna work for a season. You're not giving people a way to win. You're giving them a way to cheat. You know what I'm saying? You could cheat, yeah. Sometimes you could cheat, and you may win some of the times, but in the long run, you're gonna lose. Because, man, what is this woman gonna do when she figured out that you cheating her, or you've been cheating her the whole time? What's she gonna do, man? What is she gonna do? The question ain't, is she gonna strike back? The question is, when and how she gonna strike back? That's the question. That's the question. How's she gonna strike back? So let's get into the fresh and fit situation, man, because man, that is a wild thing. So I'm gonna play I forgot the doctor's name, man. I'm gonna play the good doctor, Dr. Rashad Richie, Dr. Richie. I'm gonna play the clip of Dr. Richie again. Well, divorce you and take half your money. Well, Diamond Axe, I'm telling you, man, if a woman watched your children for you, made sure your children were safe, made sure that your clothes was clean, made sure that everything that you needed to support you to get that $1 million, is she worthy of at least half of it? If she did all of the stuff that you need, gave you the support system to be able to go out and do that, right? Had your meals ready, had your children, push your program to your children. A lot of these women, they don't even push. If you leave a lot of these women, and I'm not saying they bad people, but I'm saying they weren't taught how to push a sensible program. They even if they got money, I'm not even talking about project women. I'm just talking about women in general. In today's society, they don't know what they're doing when it comes to parenting. A lot of them, they don't know that they're supposed to push your program on their children, especially if you teaching a righteous teaching. What's wrong? Treat people right. Do people right. Don't steal from people. Don't unnecessarily hurt somebody. Sometimes you might have to hurt somebody in self-defense, but you don't need to be running up on nobody. This is called for, right? Just some basic stuff like that, right? Some of these women ain't doing that, right? But you got a woman that does all that for you. Come on, man. She don't take half your money. She's earned, she's got equity in you, right? She threw her whole situation, put it down to the side to support you in what you're doing and make you the man you is. She deserves a little something, right? Supposed to give her the Quran say, we got to give her a good send-off, right? You got to give her a good send-off. You can't just be like, well, I don't want to be with you and you ain't going to get nothing. Really? This woman got you walking around with your children. That's what I just can't understand when these dudes be like, I don't want to pay no child support. Well, who the hell is supposed to take care of these kids? These your kids. Man, if anytime a dude says something like that, like, I would never pay no child support, I'm not going to take care of my kids, they say two conflicting things. I wouldn't pay child support, but I'll take care of my kids. Well, how are you going to pay? If you're not paying for them, are contributing financially to them, how are you taking care of them? Oh, I'm it's just me being a dad. Come on, man. Come on. Got to, what I'm saying? You got some of our brothers, we got to dunk them in the water, man, and wake them up, right? Got to baptize them in the reality. Pow, right? Come on, man. How's this woman going to take care of your children and you don't participate financially? How's that going to work? You know how many times me and Rico have had this argument with tons of people, right? Lots of guys. Excuse me, not tons, but lots of guys. We have the same, and they never give us a straight answer. You ain't gonna put me on child support. You ain't gonna put me on child support. F child support, right? Right. And I'm like, I see somebody like that. I would never do business with somebody like that, man. If you would screw your own children, you think you ain't gonna screw me? Oh, no, you're not. I would never do no business with you. Never. That's just like how the Italians do. They don't do no business with nobody. They don't take care of their family. Ain't no you faulty, man. You ain't take care of your own. You don't even take care of your own kids. You faulty. How we gonna do business with you? Try to do business with the mob and you don't take care of your family. They find out you don't take care. You don't even take care of your family. Nah, G, we ain't doing no business with you. Most people ain't gonna do no business with you, man. They're gonna be more comfortable if they see that you're a family man, right? You're a family man. Why? Because you got something to lose if something go faulty. Single guy ain't got nothing to lose, man. Come over here and play the role, whatever, get what he want, and then out, right? Go and scam somebody else or go do something else. I'm not saying every single guy's like this, but I'm saying single guys, especially ones that say F child support, F alimony. Yeah, we don't want things to be outrageous. Now, I agree with that. We don't want things outrageous. It's not what we want. We just want an equitable exchange, right? If you have to divorce, unfortunately, if an unfortunate situation where you got a divorce, we want an equitable exchange. A woman gave up her career to make sure your kids ain't with somebody who they got to think about it, bro. If your children are with your wife, you ain't got to worry about if somebody gonna put their hands down your daughter's pants or put their hands down your son's pants. They with your wife. That security in your mind alone would let you be out there, make you that's something else you don't have to think about when you out there trying to land these big deals or whatever you're trying to do out there. But you know what? A lot of us take that for granted. And I'm not saying you, Diamond. I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying a lot of our brothers do. A lot of our brothers do that. And we just take this and we just don't understand how this game go. Right? But the game go, man. We gotta take our family, man. The black man has got to get back into the family. But clans, we got pushed out. The feminists pushed us out the family. Okay, so you got to push your way back in. We got to push our way back in. I mean, these kids are dying in the street, man. These kids are dying in the street, especially the black boys. The black boys, man. These young sisters, man, they don't have nobody. They don't really have a lot to choose from because some of our young men are broken, damaged, traumatized. Why? Because we ain't there to put the pieces back together. The father is very critical. I know I'm off topic right now. I'm going to get back to it. The father is very critical, especially in the black community. Very critical person. Very pivotal person in the community. Right? Don Frank said, Fugazi. Right? Very critical person. Let me make it even broader. The father is critical in every community, but especially in the black community where we have so many different issues. We have so many different issues that the father can help alleviate. We got so many different issues. Low self-esteem, right? Low self-esteem, bad self-image. Bad, we're not teaching our girls how to be mothers and wives. The media at large is teaching them how to be hoes and lesbians. And I'm not saying this, you're a bad person because you're a lesbian, but hey, man, that's a decision you should make at a later age. They're teaching our children how to do that younger and younger. They teach them promiscuity, lesbianism, feminism, all this stuff. They starting them out at 12, 11 years old. I think you should make a sexual decision after you at 18 or at least the age of consent of the state you live in. Can't. How do you know, man? You might be just some trauma that's making you think that you want to do, that's causing confusion. Right? Don Frank said, children need good men. That is so important. We need our fathers. We won't admit it or not. No. Yeah, we do. You right, Don. We need it. We need these men, especially Don, in the black community. I know, Don, you type of sister, I know you spend a lot of time in the black community, right? you can see a lot of the stuff that's going on. That if the fathers were, if we had more fathers that was participating in these kids' lives, a lot of this stuff could be alleviated or dealt with, where it's not a serious, where it don't get off the hook, right? So that's what we try to teach, right? Meanwhile, you got cats like Fresh and Fit out there saying, hey, don't, just hit and run. I think every man has a point in their life where that makes sense to them. Hitting and running makes sense. But then you gotta have what comes after that? What's after hitting and running? You just gonna hit and run until you're 70, 80 years old? Yeah, you're gonna win for a little while. But when you start getting a little older, you're gonna have to start paying more. You have to start paying these girls more to come around, right? Like Fresh and Fit, they pay them. See, they ain't putting that out there. They pay these girls to come around. They taking your money and going out and paying these girls to come and sit in the studio. Some of them they banging, and some of them they letting go free. But the whole point is they're using money. They're using money as a basis of the relationship and not character. And when you use money instead of character, when the money goes, so does the relationship. Or the woman will feel, you can create entitlement by basing a relationship on money, gifts, trinkets, whatever. You could create a sense of entitlement in this person. Then you're going to be mad when that person wants to continue that entitlement or ramp it up. You're going to be upset, but that's what you based the relationship on, was money, trinkets, doohickeys, thingamabobs. What did Fred Sanford call it? I forgot what he called it, man. He called it something like that, man. But you basing the relationship on stuff and not character. Character is the ultimate. It's the ultimate. That's a platinum mine in the relationships. You done hit platinum when you uranium when you dealing with forget gold. You hit platinum or uranium, right? I know y'all don't believe it, man. Y'all didn't believe it. Y'all didn't see it. Y'all got to see it to believe it. All right, let me play Dr. Richie again. Okay, this is what we're gonna do now. We're gonna watch Dr. Richie again when I did the open. Okay. So this is Dr. Richie, right? This is Dr. Richie over here on the right, and this is Nick Fuentes, right, who was recently on the Fresh and Fit podcast. That's what we're talking about today. Okay, so he went on Fresh and Fit, and not only did he say the N-word, but Myron proceeded to put on a Ku Klux Klan mask, right? And there was nobody there to check that, unfortunately. Not really check that, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're gonna see. Okay, so this is Dr. Richie. He's talking about when Nick came on there, and they basically, the sisterhood that was there, right? Because they invited all black girls to be there. The sisterhood said, "Hey, Nick, we want to hear you say the N-word," right? Here we got this dude, man. Now I'm gonna play you some of his real hits in a minute, but let me I will read some of his greatest hits in a minute. But this is just him going on here. Now, of course, excuse me. Y'all remember when he went on Purdy Things, right? And then Purdy Things obviously said that slavery wasn't that bad. You know, it's embellished. Then Nick Fuentes said, yeah, just like the Holocaust was embellished, right? I don't believe it was that bad, right? Yeah, it was Club Med, right? it was Club Med, right? Your water, Mr. Schneider. Oh, very good, sir. No, I don't think so, right? I don't think so. I tell you like it was the love vote or something, right? No, I don't think so. With us, right? It was the love vote, right? Right. You start off with a beautiful African name off the Gold Coast. 2 months later, you get to America, right? Your name is Sassy. Come here, wench, right? And somebody owns you. Somebody owns you. They own you. Oh, Clarence, these owners of the baseball teams, they own a basketball team. They own the players. No, they don't own the player. They own the contract. The player can always decide to not abide by the contract. No. Don't get it twisted. The slave owners own the person. The physical person. They owned them. They branded them just like they branded their cows and their sheep. They branded their niggas the same way. Burned the brand in because people were stealing black. You know, they sent a black person to go run an errand off the plantation. That person never come back because slave catchers will catch them and sell them to somebody else. It's a cold game. That was a cold game, but they tried to make it out like it was like a party, right? 1999, right? Anyway, this is Nick Fuentes, and he's on Fresh and Fit.
White nationalist, individual who believes in regressive policies to stop the progress of black people. Nick Fuentes. Well, they went on a podcast, and this is what happened.
Wow, bro, you can say it.
Say it. Come on, man. I want you to say it.
For real. Yeah, what you got?
You want me to say it?
Yes.
Is anyone going to hit me if I say it?
No. Let's go. 2 hours. Come on, Nick. What you got?
All right.
So they wanted a known racist to say the N-word in front of everybody. They decided to encourage him to do so, made it a game, a joke, something playful. I understand the inclination to platform someone who has opposing views. I do that here myself. But I do it in order to provide challenge to the negative, hurtful, and antithetical commentary and positions they hold. You see, policies kill people. Bad policies kill people. He supports bad policies. Individuals make laws based upon his white supremacist organization. And these laws have a detrimental impact on communities around this nation. It is no laughing matter whatsoever. And I will say this to the two gentlemen who founded the podcast, and let's put them up full mass. A lot of people appreciate and enjoy the podcast. I think some of the content is actually noteworthy. However, in this moment or in that moment, I think that was a historical mistake. I want to say this to you, gentlemen, Mr. Walter Weeks and Myron Gaines. We teach people how to treat us. And when we teach them how to treat us, by way of either bending over in places we should not, let's keep the picture up, by either bending over in places that we should not, or by challenging individuals appropriately. We then teach that person how to treat everybody who looks like us too. Understand what you're doing. Walter Weeks and Myra Gaines started their show in October of 2020. They are known for discussing controversial topics such as modern dating, race debates, politics, and other current events. They got blowback last year after Weeks said, quote, "Most black girls are annoying, are ratchet, and don't know how to converse," end quote. Fuentes appeared on the podcast's latest episode, which was released July 8th. The host invited 8 black women on the podcast to help co-host, as women do regularly appear on the podcast as the show welcomes an opposing view. And at one point, this also happened during the interview. Here it is.
I asked for it and gave it to you. I don't know what you
How do you find out? What is the point, Myra? What is the point?
Bro, we're finished, bro. We're finished.
What's the point?
All right, and let's put up the twerking.
All right, y'all. All right. I'm gonna get started early this time, man. I think they are both foreigners. I think they're naturalized citizens. I think they're naturalized. I believe Myron, or whatever his real name is, Myron is naturalized, because I think he had to be naturalized to get a job with the feds. So I think he's naturalized. I don't know about Walter Weeks, or better known as Fresh. I don't know about him. But they're both not born here, right? So that's the problem a lot of times with foreign-born blacks, right? They come here and they see, oh man, they see the opportunity, right? Because they haven't been traumatized in the same way, right? So they like, what's the problem? They just stupid. They don't see that, we have major trauma that we need to start working on how to get out of and get around, right? Diamond said, sorry, my brother, those skanks ain't nobody's sisterhood. The farthest thing for the sisterhood. Oh, well, what I mean is that, they were black, right? That was for the aesthetics of the situation. They wanted to have black women on there. They wanted to have him, and they wanted him, what he was supposed to do, in my opinion, what Nick Fuentes was supposed to do was he was supposed to clown them. He was supposed to break them down. But see, he is not, he's not a wordsmith. He's just a guy with his own opinion, right? I mean, he's just a guy with an opinion. He's not somebody that's that special, right? So, but Fresh and Fit thought, hey, he's gonna tear them apart. Let's give him some meat to eat, right? I mean, we're gonna invite him here. Let's give him some meat to eat. And the sisters thought they was coming on no, you was coming on to be food for this man. He was supposed to eat y'all. But I guess from the Just Pearly blow black, he tried to play it a little cool this time, right? I don't know, man. What's wrong with me, man? I'll be seeing right through these cats, man. I'll be seeing right through the game, right through the drama, all of that, right? Dominic says, these women were turned on by Nick's radical displays. As far as I'm concerned, they are no longer a part of the black race. Well, that would be nice, but, it's not how it works, brother. Since some people do some crazy stuff, man. And when everybody else, you might not consider them black, but when everybody else looks at them, they still see them as black. And they will put that person at the front of the line, right? The craziest looking person, they'll put them at the front of the line, throw a camera in front of them, throw a microphone in front of them. Yes, Cleotis, did you see what actually happened out here? I saw it, but see, now I was on my way to buy 2 rocks up the street. Right? And then when I bought them rocks, I was coming back, and then and the black people that got sense are like, hey, Cleotis, get out the way, man. Let me tell the lady, right? Because I'm talking right now. Okay, so after I got my drugs, I was coming down the street, right? I come down the street and I saw it. Everybody, everything together. I said, hey, what y'all doing? Then they ran to me, and then I said, don't run at me because I just bought my drugs, right? That's the person they put the mic in front of, right? Here you got, they walk right past the lawyer, right past the doctor, right past the nurse, right past the, you know what I'm saying? They walk right past everybody, black person that got sense. They walk right past that person to Cleotis. Cleotis, did you see what happened across the street? Like I said, I was just bought my rocks, and then I was about to go buy my weed. It happened right when I was on my way to get my weed. You know, this man that sell me the weed, I don't like the dog he got. I mean, they go into a long other different conversation, right? I don't like the dog he got. Dog is always scratching on my leg. I say, hey, man, Mr. Weed Man, can you get your dog down? Because I really don't like your dog on my leg. Yes, Cleotis, but we were asking you about the accident that happened across the street. Could you clear that up for us? Could you give us a little more information about that? Well, like I said, I was buying my weed, you know, and everything like that. Then I was walking. I remember now I was walking, and then I was rubbing my arm, and my scab started coming off. And I looked at my scab. I said, "Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible that scab came off." And then I was thinking to myself, if I go to my weed man, the dog gonna jump on me and try to lick my scab. I can't go to my weed man. So I was stuck in the middle of the street. Right? They walk right past the postman. They walk right past everybody who got sense, right? Excuse me. They say like Sister anyway. Excuse me. We don't want to talk to any of you guys. We want to talk to him, right? Oh man. So you know, we could say Cleotis ain't with us no more because he, you know, but the other people on the outside, they're gonna say, we don't care where you from. New Jersey, New York, LA, DC, you know, Miami, Mississippi, Alabama, wherever you from. We don't care where you from. Your skin is that color. Hey, that's all that counts. Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad, Tobago, wherever you from, right? We don't care where you from because you got that skin. That's all that needs to be said right there, right? So we got to help our brothers, man. Well, we don't got to. Excuse me. Some of us don't have that responsibility. I'm one of the people that do have that responsibility. Because I was one of those people laying in the gutter with my face up in the street with the gutter water running all over me. And God, in a day of love, pulled me up out of that gutter, man. So I can't walk away from my people, even when they got their pants around their ankles, right? I got to at least try to help them, right? That's the position I'm in, right? Oh man. Diamond X says, hey, as black people, we have to understand some of our women are sexually turned on by being abused. Please understand this. Oh, I do understand that. That is what we call traumatization, man. That's a traumatization. When you get something happens to the natural order and workings of the brain, and it deviates the normal pleasure sensors, and it deviates those pleasure sensors to where pleasure can now be received in an abnormal way. Do you follow? So I get you, brother. I get you. But that usually comes based on traumatization, right? Usually, typically, some type of traumatization redirects the pleasure principles. And instead of being pleasured by stuff that should be pleasuring you, which is good conversation, good relationships, loving family, loving support, good friendships of walks of all types, right? Good food, good meal, good exchange of ideas, right? Great sexual experiences, heterosexual experiences. Now, I'm only talking from the heterosexual perspective, right? I can't talk from the homosexual experience, but I'm talking about the heterosexual experience. Just these are things that you should be that should pique your pleasure sensors, right? But when you get traumatized, now your what you were supposed to receive pleasure from has been diverted. He's been redirected to someplace else. Now you're not going to get the normal amount of pleasure you're supposed to get from being around decent people and decent conversation. Now you got to constantly have something more outlandish and more outlandish and more outlandish and more outlandish, right? You can't just have regular conversation with people and be like, yeah, man, this is a good conversation, man. I had a good conversation today with somebody, right? Coworker of mine, man. We just had a good conversation, right? We both got about maybe 25 years in the game. Well, he got 25, I got 27 in the game, right? We were talking about when we were kids, right? We got to this job, we were kids. We were screwing up left and right, but we were laughing about it because we were able to hang on, and still here we are, at this point in our careers, right? But it was a great conversation, man. Great conversation. But I got a lot out of it. He got out a lot of it. It was great. But if I was with them demons, man, them demons be like, you ever seen people in a hurry? You ever seen people in a real, they like, they always, they can't slow down, they can't calm down. And some demons got them. Them demons got them. You ain't never read in a book where Jesus was, come on, man, we gotta go. Because them demons, when them demons get you, man, you caught up. You caught up, right? Remember Jonah? Hey, Jonah, we need you to go down to Nineveh, man, because, hey, they wilding out down there, man. They down there, and you go tell them that God, I told them that they need to stop it or else. Or it's night time. You go let them know. I ain't happy with what they got going on down there, right? Oh, I got to go. I got stuff I got to do. I got to go. Yeah, man, you gotta know when these people, man, ain't rap tight, man. That way you don't want to deal with them. What's going on, Zach? What's going on with you, man?
What's up, bro?
What's happening, man? What do you think?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You sound great, man. What do you think?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you think about this Fresh and Fit situation, man? What do you think about them, first of all, inviting Nick Fuentes on and then having him come on and say the N-word and then having them then coming out in Ku Klux Klan hood?
Well, I'm going to explain my theory towards the whole situation, everything that happened.
Diamond. Got to back up off the mic, man. You kind of muffled.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You just kind of sounded kind of muffled.
Okay. How about now?
Okay, that's a little better.
Okay. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, what I was going to say is the two hosts of Fresh and Fit are nothing more than sellouts that are trying to make a bag. They could give a damn about anything or anybody. They really don't have views. The only thing they're trying to do is make money.
Okay.
If Dr. Umar gave them $1 million to do some pro-black conscious stuff, they would be pro-black the next day. And they got black people that are working for them that co-sign all of this stuff. Right. So what they're trying to do is get money. There's no redeeming qualities about these two. These are two foul individuals, okay. especially Myron, because he's the leader.
Okay, what is so foul about Myron?
Myron will do or say anything to try to make money, and Myron will lie, cheat, and also he's very cruel and mistreats any of the women who give him any pushback. If you disagree with him, he'll throw you off his show. And I've seen videos of him throwing people off the show that should have never got thrown off the show. He has an ego. He has a massive ego. He thinks he's something special. And I think he's a half black, half Arab. And he thinks he can say the word nigga and stuff like that because he's hanging out with a bunch of coons. There's no redeeming qualities about Myron. He's not our brother. He's half Arab. Even if he was fully black, he's not our brother. He's one of those people that would work against our interests because the only thing he cares about is making money.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You brought up a good point. Now let me ask you something. Is it the fact that he's half Arab? Is that the reason why you're saying he's not our brother, or are you saying it because of his behavior? Which one is
his behavior?
Okay. Just clearing it up, man. Clearing it up.
Okay. And then with the girls that came on there, Fresh and Fit is pretty good at picking out women that are mostly losers. That's what they're good at picking out. They're picking out women that are dumb, ditzy, not the smartest, and usually these women are loose, and usually they're coons that go along with what he said. Because women that challenge him, they don't like that. They'll throw you off the show. When the half Arab dude went on another show and got into it with Brittany Renner, she chewed him. You know, Brittany Renner chewed on Myron out because Myron's a loser. The only thing he tries to do is make money off of that show, make money telling people lies. And even from a player's perspective, he don't even know the game from that perspective because you ain't supposed to pay for no pudding. If you take women to bed, you're supposed to use your mouthpiece and your sex appeal to get women in the bed. You're not supposed to be tricking and flying them out.
Well,
we're talking about straight cold game. You're supposed to have game of some kind. You can spend money on women, but you shouldn't have to. And also, he's misleading these men because having money and status is only cool if the woman is sexually and physically attracted to you. Because if she's not, she's going to end up having sex with someone else. You're going to come home and you're going to find someone. One day you're going to get off of work early and you're going to find somebody else tearing up your wife. He's going to look back at you and be like, "My bad." That's what's going to happen. Because money does not save a marriage. Money helps. It's important to have money. You should try to have money, but your true sex appeal is based on sex appeal. It's not based upon money. Money can help you, but true sex appeal and true romantic appeal and that kind of stuff is your mouthpiece, the way you look, the way you carry yourself. And Myron and this other dude are just misleading people. And I want to give my viewpoint on what happened with those ladies. Okay. I looked up their Instagram, and most of those women are taking shots in their underwear, photographs in their underwear, and stuff like that. So these are not necessarily what you would call high quality women. They don't have good character and they don't have good resolve. And what the problem is, if these women were sexually turned on by Nick being rude and being disrespectful, because some black women are turned on by conflict and destruction. They're not turned on by good character traits. They're turned on by dark character traits. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's why they like those thugs and gangsters, because they exhibit dark character traits. Not all black women are like that. But Fresh and Fit is very good at finding women that are basically the losers. They have half of them be high and drunk when they go on the show. People don't know that, but half of those women be high and drunk when they go on that show.
But
you know what I mean? So
do you agree that they pay those? I mean, they pretty much pay all those women to come on there, right?
I don't know if they pay or not, but it doesn't really matter because you should never go into something like that.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Okay, well, how about this? Do you believe that, like you said, I agree with you that the women that go on Fresh and Fit they have there's some issue there.
Yes.
Do you believe that that's a result of traumatization? Because see, we just can't throw our people away because they've been traumatized, right? Or can
some of it is, some of it isn't. And I also want to go over what happened with the girl who was pretending to be conscious, who ended up kissing Nick.
Okay.
See, first thing first about that particular woman, she in the first 10 minutes of the show, they asked everybody about themselves to introduce themselves. And she introduced herself and she said she was in a relationship.
Okay.
So that's step number one. Like this fake conscious woman who's pretending to be conscious, who doesn't understand what being pro-black is, said she had a boyfriend, said she was in a relationship.
Okay.
So when you watch,
I said, okay.
And when you watch it, she claimed to be pro-black, but she egged that white boy on to say the word nigger, because he ain't want to say it. He did not want to say it because he knew it was wrong to say it. But these whores were turned on by him. And that's why they egged him on to say it, because they got issues with white supremacy, and a lot of our people suffer from that. And with her doing, what happened was she ended up, the one who kissed him ended up getting turned on by him some kind of twisted way. And instead of being able to control herself, she kissed him because it felt good at the moment, and she was turned on by his ignorant behavior.
Let me ask you a question, brother. How are you so sure that she was turned on by this situation? How are you?
Why would she kiss him then?
Why would you kiss them? Because they paid him. There's women out there having sex with people because they're getting paid.
Right. But she's supposed to be conscious. So no matter if she's paid or not paid, to me it seemed like she was turned on, because she made a video on her Instagram trying to explain it away and apologize about what she did. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, the conflict got those girls turned on. Because some women like it for real. And I don't do this with women. I never would do it, but some women like it when you beat them with a belt. Some women like it when you choke them, when you're having sex with them.
Okay.
Those kind of women I don't want nothing to do with. I'm happy I'm married to a woman who's rather on the nice side.
Well,
brother,
congratulations. But
thank you. I've been married for more than 10 years. But I'm just saying that the reality of it is, I believe, it might have been she's chasing clout, but not really. I think she was turned on by Nick.
That's obviously because I didn't see that. So I'm asking you, what did you see that I didn't see?
Oh, well, at the end of the conversation, how she was acting, she was so excited about him saying the word nigger. She kept egging him on. She was one of the main people that was egging him on to say it.
Right. I get that.
Yeah, so she was turned, because you have to understand that some people like race play and like some women like to be called. Some women will have sex with white men and want those white men to call them nigger. And some black men will want the same thing from white women. Listen, man, some people were really twisted, because there's one dude I heard about. He goes to a retreat every year in Georgia, and they do a slave narrative. And he said the best orgasm he ever had was when these people were beating him on his back.
Wow.
So there's some twisted people out there.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
And I think she might be one of them. Now, we don't know what she's been through in her life to cause her to react that way. But honestly, I believe that, here's the thing I believe. You can become attracted to someone that you shouldn't. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're attracted to who you're attracted to, but you have to control your attraction. Because I had a situation where I was alone with a woman, where I left town and traveled, ran out an Airbnb, and there was a woman there who was attracted to me. I was attracted to her, and my heart was beating fast. And if I was single, I would have wanted to do something, but I had to be able to pull it out of me to be like, you're married. You can't mess up your marriage behind a good feeling for the moment. But she's not at the point where she understands that, because she's supposed to have a boyfriend. She actually said she had a boyfriend. But she ran around taking pictures with her fist in the air.
But that's what I'm
saying. People told her, take that picture down. Take that damn fist down.
If they paid her, they say, hey, look, we want you to play the role. We want you to be, Shahrazad Ali out here. We want you to be the person, and we want you to get him to say the N word. We want you to get him to say the I'm sure they pre-planned a lot of that stuff. So
they might have. But if you're conscious, you're not supposed to do that. If you truly believe you're conscious, you don't do that. No, the thing about it is, like, Malcolm X could not be bought off. Marcus Garvey could not be bought off. And that's the problem with the movement today. Is you can go and listen, man. I was on TikTok, and I've seen black women sit there and say you can be pro-black and date white and date somebody white and all this nonsense. It's like, no, we have to get back to the fundamentals of what the movement really is. We have to get back to the fundamentals of Black pride and Black understanding. And the problem is a lot of our people don't have the right understanding.
Okay, well, let me stop you right there. Let me ask you a question, because we run across this a lot over here. Okay, so if I'm pro-Black, that means I can only date somebody that's Black, right?
Absolutely. That's why it's called pro-Black.
Where does that logic start from, and where does that start from? Because was Frederick Douglass pro-Black? Would you consider him?
No, he was an integrationist. Frederick Douglass was not pro-Black. He was an integrationist.
So he wasn't trying to help Black people.
No. Here's the thing. Okay. Now, one thing I'll say in the Black community, there's two camps. There's an integrationist camp that's trying to integrate and be part of the system, and there's a self-sufficiency camp. So, for instance, Martin R. Delaney was more self-sufficient than Frederick Douglass. That's why they had a falling out. W.B. Du Bois and Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. So there's integration people that want to integrate and become part of the system. They want to be white deep down inside, and they want the white man to treat us like he treats himself, which will never happen because we're not white. You can never be part of the system.
Maybe I missed the answer to my question, because I'm trying to figure out. I thought that Frederick Douglass was pro-Black. I thought he was trying to help Black people get out of the situation of slavery. That's what I thought.
Right.
Now, maybe
okay, here's the thing about Frederick Douglass. I'm not saying that he wasn't trying to help Black people, but he was doing it from an integrationist perspective. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. And so was Martin Luther King, because he was an integrationist. He was.
Yes, he was doing it. He was doing it from an integration. He was not doing it from a pro-Black perspective. He was trying to integrate, and unfortunately,
okay. So
and here's something else. When we talk about integration, there's corrective integration and incorrective integration.
Okay.
See, what Black people have been doing is we just want, as long as we're by somebody white, we'll do anything. We'll tolerate any disrespect as long as we can, shop in their shops, as long as we can, go to their schools. Instead of understanding, you have to hold on.
Diamond just went out. Diamond. Oh man, your audio went out, brother. Audio went out.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. So I mean, if you're asking me, the way I see this, scenario is, we have not properly taught our people how to deal with people like Nick. They should have been all over his behind instead of treating him like he was some kind of white god or something like that. But those were low-grade Black people. You could see a mile away they weren't necessarily intelligent, because you can have a degree and still be dumb.
Let's get to Nick in a minute, because I want to get this pro-Black thing started. Because for me, I don't want. Well, let me tell you my position. I don't want people that, no matter what their color is, to feel like, hey, because I'm not dating a Black person, I can't throw some money at this situation. I can't throw some time at this situation. I can't volunteer. I can't do this because I'm not Black and I'm not dating a Black person, right? I don't want people to think that. I want people to think that, hey, we'll take anybody's help. We'll take anybody. If anybody sincerely want to help us, we'll take their help. We're not going to sit here and starve to death just because a white hand is giving us the food, right? Or are we? Are we supposed to do that?
Right. Well, the way I feel about that is there's an integration wing and there's a pro-Black wing. We need to keep both wings. And if you're married to somebody white, you can't be part of the pro-Black wing. You be part of the integrationist wing. There's rules and regulations that have to be followed, because Chinese people ain't gonna let nobody be part of no movement unless you're with someone Chinese, especially being in a leadership position. They're not gonna let nobody do that. There's certain rules and codes that need to be followed. And if you're gonna be pro-Black, you should be required to date someone who looks just like you, because it's called pro-Black. It's not called anything else.
All right, so let me draw another line in the sand.
Yes, sir.
How light can I go? My own likeness. Is that? No, I'm trying to get it.
Well, at the most, I would say maybe someone who's like biracial or something. Like maybe someone who's at least half black would be as far as I'd want to go. But I'd rather have both parents be of African descent of a person who's in the movement, especially if you're going to be in leadership. Because here's the thing: if you're leading the movement, you got a white wife. That all the black women are going to say, well, how come I'm not good enough to be with the leader? How come, you know what I mean? It causes problems. So we need black people, especially in leadership positions, to be with other black people so we can show the black family being strong and rebuild the black family. Marrying outside the race is not going to rebuild the black family. We need to rebuild ourselves.
I hear you. I hear you. But what I'm talking about is actually getting something accomplished. Because if we wait for only black people to just date only black people, or them to only date people that's man.
I'm in my car.
You had to go-kart race or something? No, I'm just playing with
you.
No,
my car got some issues.
All right. So anyway, like I said, I don't want any of our people to feel like, well, I got to give my women a paper bag test, and if she don't pass this paper bag test or she go over the paper bag, then I can't date her, even though she supporting black people, she supports this or supports that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think we're past the point. This is just me. This is my opinion. We're past the point where we could say, well, I'm only gonna deal with this person of this color. Now, do I want black people to be together? Of course, I do. I really think black men are the only thing that could save black children. I think that. I feel that way.
Right.
But I'm not going to say to a person, if you can't find love in our community, you just need to be lonely, right? Or you need to be with somebody who you're not attracted to, because that's just what you need to do if you want to be with someone. And to me, I don't feel that makes sense, because we don't force women to do that, right? Women can be with whoever they want to be because they free.
Right.
Well, they want, right?
Here's how I feel about it. If you're going to be in the pro-black struggle and you're going to claim the RBG, then there's certain sacrifices you have to be made. And here's the thing: there were white women that I thought about dating, urban women I thought about dating, but I made sure to marry somebody black. I made that sacrifice, and I think everybody else who wants to be part of the struggle should make the same sacrifice.
Did you sacrifice being with somebody you were sexually attracted to? Did you make that sacrifice?
Oh, sure.
You did.
And here's the thing. To be honest with you, I'm sorry.
Diamond. Hold on. Before you go further, I'm gonna let you go. But before you go,
sorry.
I don't think I heard you right. I asked you the question: did you sacrifice being sexually attracted when you got married? And you said yes. I don't think you heard my question right, or you.
Oh no, not. I'm attracted to my wife, but I'm just saying there were other women of other races who could have possibly been with me, but I closed that off because I was part of the black struggle, and I believe that if you're in the black struggle, you have to marry black, especially when black women are least likely to get married.
But what if you want to marry black women and black women don't want to marry you? Or that means I have to put the struggle in. Attracted to the type of black woman you are attracted to doesn't want to marry you. What should be done in that instance?
Oh, keep looking until you find somebody. And here's the thing: I'm not the best person socially. I have a lot of issues, and if I can find somebody black, then anybody can find somebody black. I mean, think about it.
This is the thing: you can find somebody. The question is, are you going to be sexually attracted to them over the long haul? Are you going to, or do they have the character you need over the long haul? Are they going to be the kind of person you can trust? You can leave your children, your most precious possession, your children with when you're out in the working.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good black people out there. I mean, if I can find someone,
no, I'm not
then anybody can find someone.
I'm not saying they're not. what I'm saying is a lot of times, especially with some of our brothers that are not what do we call it? They don't have the swag. They don't have the swag effect. A lot of our sisters don't see them as prospects because they're looking for this hyper masculinity in men a lot of times, and unfortunately, that I was just listening to a news story today about a sister that unfortunately she just couldn't take it no more and left her the old boyfriend, left her husband. She just divorced her husband, moved in with got a new boyfriend, and the ex-husband broke into the new boyfriend's house and shot and killed her and shot and wounded the boyfriend. And
that's crazy.
But this is my point. This is my point. We're not learning how to sexually select people properly, right?
Bingo.
So my point is, I agree with you. Certain sacrifices have to be made. We're gonna have to make sacrifices. We're gonna have to see some of
You're damn right.
We're gonna have to see some of our business people and just support them as much as we can. We're gonna have to do that, and we're gonna have to forego a lot of the pleasure stuff that we doing now. We have to
bingo
as black men. We have to go back and get back into the family. We have to.
Yes, we do. And here's the thing. What you're saying is exactly right. That's all I'm trying to say is the same thing that you're saying is sacrifices are going to have to be made. And here's the thing. If there's a Hispanic woman who's a 10 or a black woman who's a 7, you marry that 7 because you're down for the race. You don't marry that 10. You marry that 7 if you really believe in the pro-blackness. You believe it, you'll do it.
What if your decision is you could either marry the 7, or you can marry the Hispanic lady that's a 7, or the black lady that's a 2. Which one do you do?
Well, in that case, I'll keep waiting.
Decisions.
I'll keep waiting then. I keep waiting. I'll fold and keep on waiting. I'll put my cards back in and get another hand. But I get what you're saying. But here's the other thing I think that's important about relationships and how we react is we have to stop with the BS about everything. We keep doing everything that feels good in the moment. Because for her, kissing that white boy felt good in the moment, but now it's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So we have to start thinking long term, like what is going to help us in the long term. And when it comes to relationships, character is most important. I have a system for relationships.
Agreed.
I have a system for relationships. Step 1 is, are you physically and sexually attracted? Step 2 is, can you have a conversation with this person? Step 3 is the paperwork, like. What kind of money do you want to make? What kind of religion are you? What do you believe in? All those sort of things like that. Like how should you believe in disciplining kids? And then the 4th level is can we have a deep conversation? Can we share our darkest secrets? And the 5th and final level is character.
Okay.
See, that's how you should choose your mate. But what happens is the church only deals with certain parts of it, and the street only deals with the sexual part. Right. And that's why we're all messed up. We need to bring them together.
Okay, so this is what I was trying to tell. I was trying to say on a previous show, right? Did you have what's called the sexual marketplace? Are you familiar with the sexual marketplace?
I don't believe in it. I'm familiar with it. I don't agree with it, but yes.
Okay. Well, whether we agree or not, the sexual marketplace is the dating world is a euphemism for right? That's the euphemism for actually you saying I'm dating, right? But that really means I'm looking for somebody to have casual sex with, or I'm open to have casual sex with a person who I build up enough trust and build up enough of a connection with. I'm open to it because to be in the sexual marketplace, you have to. The part of the contract is you have to understand that at some point, sex is going to be put on. You're going to be asked to put sex, right? That's part of the cultural sexual contract today. right? So if you're gonna be out here dating, then you're gonna have to understand that at some point the person's gonna eventually say, hey, you know, what are your thinking of us being sexual at some point? So that's always on the table. Right? Before you even get to anything else, that's always on the table.
Right. At some point, you're gonna be like, back that ass up. I get it.
Right? Exactly. Now, what I feel like is the character should be dealt with first. After initial attraction, you should try to investigate the character. Now, how do you investigate character? You have to ask a lot of questions. Unfortunately, it's very uncomfortable, right? Because most people don't like answering questions, especially personal questions. And I'm not talking about the Social Security number and all that stuff. I'm just talking about their perspective on how things should go, how things, you know, should work, right? You got to get their perspective. Like you were saying, how are we going to raise these kids? You know, how we going to do this? Who's going to be in charge of the money? Who's going to be in charge of, you know, if somebody breaks in the house, who's going to handle that? If the roof starts leaking, who's going to handle that? If the clothes need to be washed, who's going to handle that? So you got to have all those conversations, right? Because you never know. You might assume that a woman would be like, yeah, I'm going to wash the clothes. I'll wash the dishes. But she might be like, you know what? Hey, I never washed the dish in my house. I never did. You're
right about that one.
Right?
Yes, you're so right, because a lot of people don't have. Here's the thing. When I was younger, you know, when I first moved out here to Pittsburgh, I had a girlfriend I was with for like a couple of years. We ended up breaking up. And when I started, first of all, I was, you know, I ended up, you know, having sex with some women and stuff, getting busy with some women and stuff like that. But when I started taking the time to ask these women questions about certain things, they didn't want to give a straight answer.
Correct.
So I found out that a lot of them were full of it. A lot of them did not want to give a straight answer. They were just full of it.
Okay. So how do you handle that? See, that's the thing. How do you handle that? Because I'm not saying you should or shouldn't date anybody of another race. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. That's totally your decision. But what I'm saying is, if you really want to have somebody and the person that you want has the character that you're looking for, but maybe they don't have the attractiveness that you're looking for, and then excuse me, not the attractiveness, but they're of a different race or a different color or whatever, right? But you still want to be down with the, you know.
You can't do both. You got to quit the movement, or you got to find someone black.
I disagree, brother. We gonna agree to disagree. We gonna agree to disagree on that, because I don't feel like you. I feel like, man, you should take help from whoever's gonna help you. Take the help, right? Take the help, right? Because all of us are talking about all of this black, right? But when the U.S. government, when Uncle Sam start passing out them stimulus checks, I guarantee you, all of us gonna take that stimulus check, right? It wasn't no black man that gave it to you, right? But we gonna take that stimulus check, right? So I'm saying, so you know, but on certain other things, we're really closed-minded on it. And I'm like, those are the kind of things that prolong our situation, because we thinking inside of the box of this is how it has to be, and if it ain't like this, then it ain't gonna work. But it can work if we have to come up to the modern times, right? Are you familiar with a book called the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You remember when the prophet Noah was sent, right? He was sent to the people to tell them, hey, God ain't feeling y'all, man, what y'all doing, right? Well, that little experiment, you know, didn't take care of the problem all the way, right? So then they sent somebody else. Now, did they bring back Noah and send Noah during Moses' time? No, they sent Moses. Now, why did they send Moses instead of bringing back Noah? Noah was supposedly a good man. Why didn't they just send Noah? Why did we have to have this whole new dude Moses?
I mean, I understand what you're saying, my brother, and I really do get it. But here's my viewpoint on it. The way I see it is,
brother.
if you want to be part of the integrationist struggle, then you can marry who you want to marry. But if you want to be part of the pro-black struggle, then I think you should be required to marry someone black. And you can still help black people by being an integrationist, but I think that's where you land at, because the biggest thing you could do for black person, biggest thing you could do for the race is making love to someone of your own culture. You know, like I couldn't imagine talking Malcolm X shit with some white woman or some, Italian or Asian woman or some shit like that. I couldn't imagine that. But I mean, here's the thing, man. Me personally, I would rather be with a woman who smokes weed every day.
You'd rather be with a woman that smokes weed every day? She better have a serious health condition. She better have a serious health condition for me, man. I don't know if I could be with somebody that smoke weed every day, man. I've seen people that smoke. I got family members that smoke weed every day, and I know how those people roll. Most of the time, they're not getting a lot done. You know what I mean? But it depends on the person. But I got family members that just, man, they can barely get out of bed in the morning.
Brother Chris, can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. You said give me a minute, so I thought you was gone.
No. I didn't. No. I said give me a minute because I was fixing something. I'm sorry, in here to make sure that you guys can hear me.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to interrupt your explanation and everything, but first of all, I want to say something. Glad to see all you guys again. I'm recovered from my accident, and I just wanted to make sure everybody knew I was okay.
I'm sorry you had an accident, brother. I didn't know you had an accident.
Oh no, it was somebody hit me with their car on the job.
Man, sorry to hear that, brother.
It was on the job. Don't worry.
All right.
And I just want to thank all the people out here from the different channels, and also people who supported me to who were wishing me a fast recovery. Don't worry, nothing was broken, just banged up. But I'm lucky to have even that happen. Because many people could walk away from an accident. But other than that, to get on the topic of these two clowns,
what do you think about that, man? What do you think about them wearing a Ku Klux Klan hood and they bringing on Nick Fuentes and urging them to say the word, the N-word?
Oh, the N-word? Okay, first of all.
She said it twice, by the way. They bleeped it out, but he said it twice.
Oh, no. Myron always says that. So eventually.
No. I'm talking about Nick Fuentes.
Oh, Nick? Oh, no. Trust me, he'll get jumped and they'll probably get beat him up.
No. He said it on the show twice.
No. I'm not talking about them on the show. I'm talking about people who hear him say this.
Oh,
okay. Will hurt him. His reputation is already down in the mud. And if that was him on that show that was saying crazy blasphemy.
He said that stuff because they egged him on. The women are a bunch of coons and should be cut off from the race. They should be excommunicated.
And guess what? And just like a dumbass fish, he fell for a hook, line, and sucker.
Yeah.
Like, which is like I've always said, and Brother Concern me said, the most effective way of destroying somebody is having them self-destruct. Where you don't do any work and you let them self-sabotage themselves. You can set things up in a way for where that happens, but when they blow up on their own, I mean, you can't blame really can't blame other people. It's really your fault because these people just made you their puppet without having to really lift a finger to do anything. So Nick Fuentes is a freaking. First of all, he's crazy. Number one. Number two, that man has no sense of urgency. And three, most likely, trust me, majority black people that I know of would probably jump him and really hurt him. And I would not feel bad personally. You got to understand, saying things come with consequences, and it is a responsibility. Even when we're online, even us here, we have a responsibility to be careful about what we say. I have to be careful about what I say, and because if I'm not saying we're creating a tribe or leading a clan of people, but if certain people follow us, follow what we say, or like at least hear what we have to say. I want to make sure I get the message out clearly, and also to make sure I articulate my words so I don't F stuff up. So, but this guy, he's intentionally doing it because, like, I was pressured, all that nonsense. I'm like, dude, you literally became a puppet, and technically, let's be real, you can't even keep control of your damn emotions. You're freaking an angsty, obnoxious girl on her I guess on her emotional high school wave shit. That's how he comes off to me. And he just doesn't understand urgency. Well, no, he doesn't understand agency and urgency. Because like I said, how he reacts, it really tells you a lot. And I've talked, and then like I said, I recently talked with 15-year-olds, and I really know how they have a conversation with an adult, because they're more prone to go off reflexive emotions, or kind of like tangents or statements off that. With this, so that's what he reminds me of, and it just seems like he's just reacting.
Okay. All right, let's get Patrice. Let me bring Patrice in here. Thank you for that, Jay.
Hello,
Patrice.
Hello, G. Patrice. How you doing? Too. I just wanted to see you.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you, girl.
Yeah.
I hear you
too.
Yeah. So y'all don't say nothing. I'm walking through this casino. I was trying to cop on. I got a bad reception. So listen, you better not say nothing. All that crap that I heard in my ear from whoever that was with that car and all that. Like, come on. So look. So I wanna share light. I wanna.
And I ain't talking no crap, neither. I'm telling the truth. Stop it, Patrice. You hurting me.
No. I said the crap with the car. I didn't say you were talking crap. Okay, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Okay, sister. I get it. I feel you.
No. I was saying, I'm saying that because they always give me, a hard time when I'm in the casino and they hear all the little ding, 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 ding. That's how I was saying.
I'm hearing it, actually. I know you were in the casino
Mr. Patrice,
you winning some money?
Super Pack of Oxtails is on all four for you. We left them on all four. This is Costco.
Stop it. Anyway, I want to shed some light on this conversation, talking about the whole fresh and fit thing, and give a woman's perspective, especially someone that's older and mature, and the type of advice that I would have for the young ladies that was on there, because we have to be real about, since this has happened, these young ladies' lives has been threatened, particularly the one y'all were talking about that kissed him and that was trying to act like she was like really pro-black and all of that, right? Well, I saw this young lady on a podcast earlier. She actually did an interview with We Need to Talk podcast, and shout out to him. I like his podcast. He interviewed the young lady either today or yesterday. It's on there, and he gave us some really great advice coming from a male's perspective. Okay, so let's start off first with how she explained that how she got on there. They DM'd her. She didn't get paid. She's been on there. This make her third appearance. So she know what the Fresh and Fit podcast was all about. But she is a young lady that I guess need the clout, need the clicks, need the views she claims to get her business going with whatever it is that she's trying to do in her endeavors, right? But she's been on there 3 times, and she actually liked or enjoyed trying to convince or change the mind, particularly of Myron, which we all know that ain't gonna never happen, because when you have an agenda and a perspective of something, especially if on that podcast, it's just no way Black females and the way they talk and treat Black females that they're going to ever listen to anything any of them got to say. So she actually gave a little background of what they do and how things got set up. And she said they DM'd her, the producer approved her to come on. They did not tell her. None of them knew that Nick was going to be on there. They get there, they see this white guy, and they're like, okay, girl, whatever. They still don't know what's going on. This is alleged what she's saying. This is the story she told. Now, talk about the first things first is how they exploit the black women that go on that platform. She say they sit them by big butt, big boobs. Whoever got the biggest butt, biggest boobs. That's how they actually seek them, as to how they want them to be seen
I'm
on
very
camera.
surprised.
Exactly. Right. She, of course, the alcohol. Of course, you know, she said they took the tour, you know, taking pictures before and after. And before they didn't take pictures. Most of the pictures with Nick was after the fact, right? So now she's setting this up, and she's talking about how she did not know who Nick was, and a lot of people don't know who Nick is, especially the younger generation. She didn't know who he was. She didn't understand why he was sitting there, but at the same time, she was like, oh, well, maybe he's just going to join the conversation about relationships, but it totally was not about that. So those, from what she's saying, she said she didn't even know none of the other young ladies. So they pick these women from all over that don't know each other and just invite them on the podcast. It kind of go like that for the most part. So they're on there, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff is coming up about race and you know, intelligence and all this and that. So, you know, I guess to her, you know, to her own detriment, you know, she's trying to be up there and be as pro-black as she can be. And see, and this is where my conversation will be with the younger generation, especially young black women.
That woman ain't pro-black. She's full of it.
Oh, well, okay. Can I finish? Man, you was up here going and nobody was up here. So let me
Yes, ma'am. I apologize. You're right.
Let me
Yes,
just
ma'am.
tell the perspective coming from her. And so she said she, you know, as much as she knew about black history and you know, black struggle, she did the best she could with the things that she tried to push back with Nick against, right? So and of course, the young man whose podcast she was on, you know, really gave her a lot of history. And again, like I said, this comes from
Patrice, you breaking up.
to us parents. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
You know, it's up to us to teach and tell our own, you know, black history to our children and our children's children. But it's unfortunate that a lot of the younger generation don't give a shit about it, right? Let's just be real. They don't. And this is a prime example of when things like this happen, we're not prepared. We're not prepared to have the conversations when we on platforms, and whether it comes to our knowledge or not, that we know what's going on. When we don't know our own history or the history of our ancestors, then that's why we be made to look like those young ladies were made to look on that podcast. So I just wanted to be clear with that. But with the part where he got to talking about the intelligence of the different races and things like that, y'all know he was absolutely talking about eugenics, and of course a lot of the younger generation know diddly squat about that, so they didn't have any pushback. They didn't have anything, you know, that they can push him back on against. Even as much as when he got to talking about how he was attracted to other races, but you know, he just choose to you know, stay within his race, and that's fine. I'm not surprised at anything that Nick Fuentes did, but and wasn't really surprised of what Fresh and Fit did. Now I will say the total disgrace of that platform and the people that acquiesce to it has been nefarious for a long time. But the whole putting on of the KKK sheet over his head, that to me, I listen, if black men like your Dr. Richies and other black men are not calling this out and continue to support that type of platform, those are the type of men and women that I'm side-eyeing. And women like that, young women like that need to be held accountable and need to have conversations with, you know, people that know the history. I believe that women should hold other women accountable. You know what I mean? So even though she was on that platform, I think a black female content creator need to have her on there, or the other young ladies on there, if they're willing to go to have the conversation where they can be held accountable for for their actions or their partaking in that. Well, he reached out to the girl on her Instagram, and she was reluctant. She was reluctant because her and the other girls have been getting death threats. So I understand why she's reluctant now, but that's how deep it has gotten, right? She said they've gotten death threats and things of that nature. They've threatened the life of her and her son. So, when you go to those tactics, instead of, you talking at them and threatening them, but you're not having a conversation with them, or to them, you're actually talking at them.
Patrice.
So yeah, yes, sir.
Patrice, you got to.
Yes, sir.
You got to give us a break on that casino music.
I'm getting you a break. I'm going on mute.
Can I ask Patrice a question? What did she say about kissing? What did she say about kissing Nick?
Oh, when he asked her about the kissing part, she was like, yeah. She said, I realized, later that I was dead wrong, but I was caught up in the hype of everything. I was caught up in, she said, and I just didn't know. I didn't react the right way. She said she knew she was wrong at the minute of the reaction of, after the reaction, of course, that she got from other people. She said she had conversations with other black men, somebody at her job and a relative and things of that nature, and they were trying to tell her about things. So she said she realized that she was dead wrong. She regretted, and she actually apologized on his platform for it. And she said she will definitely do her homework on learning more about her history, because she's actually half Haitian and half black. So, and he was even telling her, giving her the history about, exactly about the Haitian and all of that. So just not knowing the history was like the main thing. But she did hold herself accountable and apologize for it. So
she's saying Nick asked her to kiss him.
No, everything was egged on, just like the whole egging on of the N-word, because he asked her that too. And again, she was like, I was wrong. I was caught up in the moment, caught up in the hype. Everybody else was doing, she said, but I didn't understand why Myron did the whole, putting that sheet over his head. She was actually the one that said, what's the point, or something like that. She said, I was trying to give as much pushback as I knew to give. But when you're uneducated about things, of course, you're only going to do what you know how to do. But then at the same time, ignorance is bliss as well. So.
Right. And here's my perspective on it. I still say the same thing, that you can't make me kiss someone I don't want to kiss. I believe that some kind of way she got turned on by Nick, and she didn't know how to control herself and say, you know what, I need to think this through before I do something that's going to cost me. And the thing about that's sad, this woman is 32 years old. She's not 22. She's not 18. She's a grown-ass woman. She should definitely know better. I know people from the streets and the project that have been in prison.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far to say she was turned on about it, but I would say I do believe she was clout chasing. She was, caught up in the hype of it, and she wanted to acquiesce. It was, everybody else is doing it, so I might as well do it type of situation. She did say that.
She's too old for that. She's in her 30s. She ain't 22. She's too goddamn old for that bullshit. But I hope she learns better. I honestly hope she gets it together. And I want to make one more point real quick. And I'm gonna, because I don't want to spend too much time talking. I know I've been hogging the mic. But one thing I wanted to say real quick is this still comes back to black men being responsible, because if we're supposed to be the leaders, we have to set the example. And the biggest problem is we're not setting the right example, because them dudes were cooning for pearly things. So before black men start getting on these women too hard for being coons, we got to understand that the whole black manosphere was cooning out for pearly things. And black men have been cooning out for a long time, and we've misled our women. So our women will do what they see us do. So we have to so as black men, we got to take accountability for what happened on Fresh and Fit. Black men are responsible. If we're the leaders, we're always responsible. And what the one guy told me is, when the team loses, it's always the coach's fault. When the team wins, the players did a good job. So black men are supposed to be the leaders of the race, we have failed.
Yeah, but it's but the answer is coming back home. We got to come back home. Got to leave these side pieces alone. We got to leave this alcohol alone. We got to leave these drugs alone. We got to leave, the
bingo.
We got to leave all of these things that we using as crutches to deal with the fact that we're not with our families. And so we got to come back to the family. I got one kid here, one kid in Louisiana, one kid over here in Michigan.
Right.
But that's okay.
You got to come back.
You got StreamYard. StreamYard is free. You can have all your kids on StreamYard for free and just talk to them every day. Hey, what's going on? I'm just checking in with you. Right? That little bit right there will help. That little bit right there can help. We have to reintroduce the black man into the family, and that's going to help on so many different levels.
Right.
In my opinion, because you won't have.
Yeah, you're telling the truth because here's the thing.
Wait, Diamond. Let me say this because you made a good.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
You made a good point because you said she said she's too old to be not understanding what's going on, right? But our children won't never get you don't see Jewish children running around like I don't know what happened to the Jew. You know what I'm saying? They know, right? Because they get taught by when they little kids, and so we have to reintroduce the black man to the family. We won't have people be able to be led down the wrong pipe and go along with something like that because they'll know better because they've been taught better. And that's all I was gonna say. Okay, go ahead, Don.
Well, I guess when it comes to the come down, when you see these black women out here acting like whores, they got their dress, they got their ass and their titties showing up, that's because that's what black men respond to. See, the problem with it is our women are really a reflection of us, and our women are always going to submit to our will. The black men are complaining because their will that they've given black women are fucked up. Because if every black woman decided to say, I'm going to wait till marriage to have sex, black men would be mad because they want to just use these women as sexual objects, so we don't have respect for our women. But the point comes down to that the black man has to take full responsibility for everything that went wrong in the black community. And that's the biggest thing. A lot of black men want to make excuses for single mothers. Like, no, for every single mother, some dude has abandoned her and not been paying his child support. So the thing about it is, it's like this, especially when you have sex with a woman, that woman is going to submit to your authority. It's like, I could tell, when I was younger, I could tell women, we're not going to use a condom. And they would just say, okay, because they're going to submit to your authority. And it's up to you to make sure you don't get her pregnant. Not up to anybody else. It's up to, not up to the woman. It's up to you. You are the one that's a man, and you have to be, being a man means you take responsibility for everything that goes wrong.
Diamond, because you make a lot of good points, and then you say some things that are unqualified. So I'm gonna get you to qualify this.
Yes, sir.
I disagree with the way you said what you said. I think I know what you're trying to say, but the way you said it sounds, so you said that they're going to always submit to you if you tell them, and I think that certain women will, but certain women won't, right?
Well, what I mean is more collectively. What I mean is,
okay. See, I knew you meant something else. I just want to be clear.
Okay, so what I mean to it is, on an individual level, they may or may not submit, but group live, they're going to submit to whatever the black man responds to. So if he responds to straight hair, they're going to have straight hair. Okay. But if all black men said, I only want to have sex with or be around or date women that have nappy hair, they would cut their hair and go nappy because even though our women
walking around, the Asians would be going broke.
yeah, because here's what I'm going to tell you. Like, when it comes to the come down, even though black women try to act like they don't care, but black women want sexual access and they want romantic access to black men. Okay. But what you told them is you got to be a hoe in order to do that. You can't be a wife any longer. You got to be my friends with benefits. You got to let me just fuck you and do all this bullshit with you instead of saying.
Diamond, you're right, but let's qualify that. I don't think there's any woman that wants to be a hoe. First of all, that's just me. Let me explain. I don't think that there's a woman that pops out of the womb and grows up to be a little girl and says, you know what, I'm going to be a hoe. I don't think that happens. I think what happens is at a certain point, being that way is a form of control. You can control your environment a little better if because you know what the person wants, so you can kind of control the situation as best as you can. It's much easier to control somebody when you guide them based on their desires than when you're trying to outthink them, right?
Yeah.
If I'm a woman and I'm telling you, hey, I don't want to have sex with you until I get married, right? And the disappointment of seeing people say, well, I don't want to date you then, right? I don't want to be involved with you. Here's the problem for women. Let me say this. This is the problem for women. Women, the better looking guys are going to want to have sex with you, right? So that's the paradox that they're involved with. The better looking guys are always going to be the ones that are going to be wanting to have sex, because they keep themselves in an attractive state because they want to have sex. They're trying to do all this stuff. They can attract women so they can have sex. So those are the ones that's always, and so they're gonna always be trying to have sex. When they go and tell those type of guys, I don't want to have sex, they're gonna get rejected. So
right.
So the problem they have is, well, should I take the guy that's like the nerdy type of guy? But I'm not sexually attracted to that dude, but he's paying his bills on time, he's treating me right, he's very nice. And a lot of times they'll say, well, no, because I don't know how to handle somebody like that. I don't know how to deal with somebody that's that nice. But the guy that I know what he wants, I'm very comfortable knowing that this man wants sex. So I can manipulate, or I can maneuver around in this relationship better because I know what his motivating factors is. Because they haven't seen love, they haven't seen true love, they haven't seen real relationships. They don't, when they see somebody treating them good, they think there's an ulterior motive in there, and they don't know what the motive is, and they get nervous. That scares them, and so they just run away, in my opinion. So
that's a fact.
Anybody out there that wants to be a hoe.
No. But here's the thing.
Okay.
One of the biggest problems in the black community is black women are attracted to dark character traits like psychopathy, Satanism. I forgot what the other one is, but they're attracted to men that show evil. Oh, from my own experience, if I'm seeing it, if I'm really seeing it, when you hear a woman say something like, he's an asshole, I like that, that shows you she's attracted to dark character traits.
Agreed. Okay.
When he says stuff like, I need a challenge. I need someone who can rough me up, or I need someone who's tough, who's mean, or you're too nice for me. That shows that black women, not all, but some black women are attracted to dark character traits in men. Okay, disrespect.
Why?
Huh?
Why would they be attracted to dark character traits in men?
Well, I think it's Western culture in general, and also I think some of our women have been abused. So I have to give that. Some of our women have been abused, and some of our women are westernized because this is an issue in Western culture in general. It's not just in the black community, but I think it's black women more than any other women.
Okay.
From what I've seen.
I agree. But I don't know if it's more. I just think it's more visible, right? Because the numbers are so much smaller, and the media is able to make more money showcasing the tomfoolery of black women. That's what people want to see. People don't really want to see a black woman that is knowledgeable, that's attractive, that's a good person, has good character. People really don't want to see black women like that. They really want to see black women like, if that's what they wanted to see, you wouldn't have Housewives of Atlanta, black people acting stupid in LA, black people that can't get record deals in New York, black people that can't do tattoos in Chicago. You wouldn't have all these black shows that show all different types of manner of
dysfunction.
sexual dysfunction in relationships, right?
Right.
If black people wanted to, if we wanted to see good relationships, we wouldn't have shows like Ghost. We wouldn't have shows like some of these other shows that's out there, man, where the black man is absolutely the worst person in the whole program, right? He's just the worst person in the whole program, or he's the dumbest, right? The Tyler Perry shows, he's the dumbest. Only the gay black man is even the gay black man is doing better than the heterosexual black man. He is just the bottom of the barrel, man, out of everybody. Even the white man comes through and he's doing better than the black man, right? The white man is doing horrible every one of those movies, right? So my point is this. We have been given, because this is where I agree with you when you was talking about we've been westernized. We've been given a taste. Our taste buds have been for dysfunction, right? For dysfunction.
Yes.
Right.
We've been successfully niggerized. The black race has been successfully niggerized. And that process started in the 1970s with that heroin epidemic.
Oh,
yeah, that's when
for that too. But you're right.
That's when the killings of black people shooting each other began to rise up. It was not in the 80s, but started in the 1970s. Because in Chicago, 900 people were killed in Chicago. We're talking in 1974. So most people that ever got killed in Chicago, 1974, mostly black people. And also in I think 400 people got killed in Detroit in 1976. So people will sit there and say the 90s and 80s. No. It got worse in the 80s with the crack epidemic. But people got to understand there was a heroin epidemic first in the black community. People don't understand, that history. That's why knowing your history is so important.
Yeah, and I agree with you, because I think what happened in the late 60s and 70s, I think when the heroin really exploded in the black community, I think a lot of lines were crossed. You know what I mean? Like before, a black woman leaving her children by themselves was just they would always run and go, girl, can you watch my kids? I got to go do it. Even if they was going to go do something nefarious, right? Shout out to Patrice. They would, even if they was going to go do something nefarious, they would say, girl, they would go to the person across the hall, girl, can you watch my kids for a couple of hours, right? And the girl, the lady would say, come on, yeah, bring them in, right? And so they watched the kid. But when the heroin came, of course, the crack just they put the heroin on turbo blast, right? A lot of lines got crossed where responsibility just went down the river. It just went down the river for us in the black community, where now we was leaving our kids by themselves for days at a time, right? Trying to get that high, right? And then, or trying to get money to get that high, right? Or we was just, people leaving their families, right? Man walking out on their family and never coming back, or the husband or wife walking out and never coming back. We started crossing all kind of lines. And then when the crack came in, can you imagine a 30-something-year-old woman going up to a 14-year-old boy telling him, I'll give you this kind of oral pleasure or whatever if you can just hook me up with some crack. It was things that was just unheard of, right? But we did it. It just came to pass. Oh man, my brother Diamond fell off. Okay, maybe he'll be back. But before we get down the road too far, y'all, because we only got maybe 20 more minutes, right? I want to play a little bit of Nick Fuentes with Alex Jones, and Alex Jones asking him about Hitler. And so we're gonna see what Nick Fuentes thinks about Hitler.
Do you actually admire Adolf Hitler?
In some ways, yes. And I'm not a National Socialist, and I'm not I wouldn't identify that way because I'm a Christian. So I'm not any kind of a socialist or a fascist. I like Ye believe we should have a Christian government. It's a Christian country. God runs the world. We should have a government in accordance with that. But honestly, I don't share this histrionic Jewish view that Hitler is this exceptionally boogeyman, evil figure. The 20th century is full of violence. The 20th century is full of authoritarian ideologies run rampant, and that's a product of modernism and liberalism and all kinds of trends. But this idea that my life is in any way impacted by Hitler, I have a lot more animosity for the ADL. I have a lot more animosity for the ZOA. I have a lot more animosity for the groups that have actually made my life and the life of my family materially worse, personally and across the board with the society. I'm sick of being expected by Jewish media and Holocaust museums to beat my chest like you kind of did the other week and say, "Oh, I hate Hitler. Hitler's the," it's like this weird. It's like 1984, when they put.
Ay. So he says Hitler is a okay dude, right? Right? Kanye West got destroyed for saying I love Hitler, right? He didn't say I love what Hitler did. He didn't say I love what Hitler believed in. He said I love him as a person. Because I'm a Christian, that's what I'm supposed to do. Even the Christians jumped off the ship, right? Even the Christians jumped off the ship. They said, no, Kanye, no. No. They jumped off the ship. Everybody jumped off the ship. How could you? There's some people, man, that, only God can love. Only God can love. And we got to let them love. Let God work on them, right? We gotta, man, I'm telling you, man, people do stuff. Okay, Patrice, people do stuff and, people do stuff and they think that they're getting away with it. And they might get away with it for a few years. Y'all want me to tell y'all a story? I'm going to tell y'all a story. It's story time. Ding, 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 ding. Story time. All right. It's story time, y'all. Okay. You right, Don Frank. Father God, holy smokes. Okay. So I was in training, man, about 4 years ago. 4 years ago or so, man, I was in training. I was a trainer for the city of LA. So I would train new hires. And so we had a little crew that we had, it was probably about maybe 6 of us, right? And so one of the dudes that had got promoted from training, he got a promotion, right? And we had a big barbecue. I think it was on 4th of July or something like that, or right before the 4th of July. We at our office, we had this big old barbecue. No, it was Christmas. It was Christmas. We had this big barbecue. And so, I didn't come into work the next day, like the day after Christmas, whatever. I didn't come in that day, right? But I had a little plate that I was supposed to, you got to connect your mic, Diamond. There you go. I was supposed to come in, but I didn't. I had a plate, and then one of the ladies had made me a plate and put it away from me, right? So I had it was in the refrigerator, right? Well, this dude that knew he was gonna be gone by the time I got back decided he came in on the day that I wasn't there, and he said he thought that barbecue was so good, he ate my barbecue, right? So when I got back, I'm like, "Oh, hey man, where's my food?" Right? I was thinking about that all lunch, right? So, all morning, right? I was thinking, man, I'm gonna go get that food. And so nobody wanted to tell me, right? They was like, we don't know what happened. Right? But they knew what happened, but they didn't want to get involved with it, man, because they knew I was hot. They could see how hot I was about it, right? And so this dude had did it, and he had never said I'm sorry or nothing, right? He just got promoted and moved on. Bam, moved on, right? So I see this dude a couple of days ago, right? And now this dude is probably 32 or 33, and I see him limping, right? He limping better than me, right? Now me, I got an excuse, right? I've been thrown all over the dojo. I've been thrown on the ground. I did all kind of stuff trying to learn Sanukas, right? So I don't, I got a right to limp. I done did flips and everything. I got a right to limp, man. But he's a young dude, man. I'm like, why are you limping? Oh, I got gout. I said, oh, you got gout. I said, well, maybe you should do this and that to maybe get off that sugar, right? Because that sugar will flame that gout up in a heartbeat, right? He's like, yeah, but he's limping like an old man.
Have a good one too.
And he was limping like an old man. So what's my point? See, he thought he got away with that. But God brought him right to me so I could see. Now, I didn't even say nothing about the barbecue because I seen the man limping enough. I could say, that's his payback right there. Okay. I said, wait, what else I need to say? God got his ankle. And if he ain't careful, he going to take his foot.
For that barbecue and other things he probably did.
Huh? What'd you say, Diamond?
Oh, for the barbecue and other things he probably did to people.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is man. We had a sister that knew how to barbecue. Man, she made some good chicken, right? So I was like, man, this chicken was bomb. It was soft, tender, had a good flavor, and I was like, yeah, man. I was hot. I need John to say, I'll be hot too. Yeah, I was hot. You know how it is, John. You go all day. You think you got something in the fridge, right? This happens especially when you got children, right? When you got boys, especially, right? I had 3 boys, right? I say some in the kitchen. I say some in the refrigerator. I hide it all back in the behind the base something. I'd hide it in there, right? I get home, it's gone. I'm like, what happened to that fish I had put back here? All 3 of them be like, I don't know. We don't know. My wife be looking like, you know what happened to it. I be like, what happened to it? I was thinking about that all day. I was at work all day. Going to get my fish, man. But the whole point was, like you said, Diamond, it probably been a lot of stuff that he'd have been doing, right? But he was brought to me so that I could see that. It just so happens I didn't go where I didn't even know he was going to be where I was at. We just happened to cross paths at the same time. Got on the elevator at the same time. So I saw him limping. And I was like, man, what's wrong? He said, man, I got this gout. I said, okay. See, that's karma, man, coming back on you. That karma coming back on you. All right, y'all. So this is we just watched Nick Fuentes. He said Hitler was a great dude, man. He was a good dude, man. You know what I mean? And they playing him left. You know, I admire him. This what he said. I admire some of the things about Hitler, right? What's to admire? In my opinion, what's to admire? Right? But hey, he said he admired him, right? And eventually he would have got rid of him, right? Hitler would have got rid of Nick Fuentes, right? Because Nick Fuentes is supposedly half Italian and half something else, right?
Of course, he would have got rid of Nick Fuentes.
He would have got rid of Nick. He would have got.
Half Italian,
Jews.
half full.
Hitler was getting rid of anybody who wasn't full blood Aryan and breedable. He was getting rid of everybody. He clearing out the mental hospitals, the orphanages. He was just clearing out everything, man. Anybody who had like autism or anything like that, man, they gone. He just clearing all that. He cleared all that out, and that was that, right? So he had no qualms. But why'd I bring this up? I just wanted to bring up and show people who Nick Fuentes was, who he is, right? He is. He's not a smart guy at all. He sounds like he's smart, but he's really not. He's just an average guy. He's just an average guy. And so he believes in the white race, and that's no problem, man. You know what I'm saying? You can, but when you trying to say, hey, look, I think that because your skin is this color, you should be in this position. That's where we have the issue. That's why I was talking about the thing between Moses and the thing between Moses and Noah, that situation, because the times was different when Moses came. Now you got a whole different situation than when Noah was here, right? You 2,000 years later, you got a whole different situation. Now you got things to deal with like homosexuality and these other issues to deal with that Noah didn't really have to deal with all of that, right? Divorce and all. You didn't have to really deal with stuff like that. Noah didn't. right? But now by the time Moses get here, things are different. Why? Because all this different stuff is happening. Then 2,000 years later, when Jesus comes, you got a whole nother you got all different kind of issues to deal with now. Moses.
Can I make a comment real quick?
Oh, go ahead.
What you're saying is true, but I think some things should never change, and some things, should change. So I think it's important that we do what's best for us, not what's best for the time and what makes people feel good. We need to do what's going to be solidly best. I mean, we need to cut back on the homosexuality because we need to have children to continue and strengthen the race. So I don't support the homosexuality for that reason. But if someone is gay, I'm cool with them. But as long as you're black first, you can't be gay first. You got to be black first.
You can't. No, that doesn't work. When you
in the
alphabet community, you have to be alphabet first.
Well, then you got to get then we got to cut them off. Then, you got to cut them off because you can't have anybody trying to. Because here's the thing, I was doing some organizing with some people, and there were some homosexuals that were trying to hijack a black agenda and making some homosexual stuff.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we can support y'all. We understand that black homosexuals got their own issues. But no, we're not going to make this a gay movement. We're going to make this a black movement.
That's where we go wrong. We try to conflate everything together, right? Oh, we're going to do all this for everything, for everybody. I mean, when it comes to us as black people, and you know who started that? Baird Russell.
Oh yeah. He gave Martin Luther King very bad advice. I think. I feel like he should have went more on. He should have went more on the Malcolm X side of things.
But conflate everything. See, the real agenda. His agenda was for everybody. Now, what our agenda was supposed to be is like the Asians, like the Latinos, like the whites, like the handicapped, like the women.
Right. They're just out for themselves.
Yeah, right. Everybody has a separate situation.
Right. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, man. Like we need to double down on the thing. And here's the thing, man. Now, them girls that were on that show, I don't want them to get death threats, but I definitely want them to catch hell for what they did. They need to know what they did was not cool. I don't want them to be scared for their life. But I want them to suffer for what they have done, so to let you know, don't do that again, and to be a warning to other people, don't do it.
I got you, but Diamond, don't you think that we should have some understanding for the uneducated that do stuff uneducated, right? I mean, it's one thing when you do something and you know better. That's a whole nother thing.
They knew better.
Well, I don't know. Did they?
Some of them are in their 30s, and they egged him on to say the N-word. No, they knew better. And the one girl in the blue dress, she comes off like she's kind of a sex worker and a stripper. She was very intelligent. She was breaking down a whole bunch of stuff, but she still was twerking on Nick Fuentes. She still was twerking on that racist white boy because even though she knew some stuff, she still got coon ways about her. And she needs to be checked in. People need to let her know that it's not cool what she did.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, when we say suffer, how can we educate people by making them suffer? I think suffering kind of sounds like punishment to me. When what I'm saying is we should punish people that know better, but people that don't know better, no matter how old they are, right? We got some older people that, like you said, man, they go to these civil war depictions, and they with the business over there, right? So, but do they know better, or did they?
Well, they should have known enough. Put it like this: them women knew enough not to be encourage him to say the word nigger because he didn't even want to say it.
I agree with that. I think they should.
Those bitches encourage that shit.
Right, and I agree with that. But what I think when
they knew they knew better.
When I say the uneducated, that I think that much I think they knew about. In particular is the impact that would have. Hey, man, I think you at the go-karts racing, man. I think you at the go-karts, man.
No, man. I just got a beater. I'm sorry, man. Oh shit. But real quick, man, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna mute the mic. I don't want to take up too much time. But at the end of the day, when I saw the part where they encouraged him to say it, he didn't even want to say it. It really made me feel embarrassed to be black. That hurt me. That hurt me so bad, because I'm thinking to myself, we didn't allow people of other races to say the N-word. We would check people in, like, hey, don't talk like that. Yeah, man. So for them to allow that shows that they were on some real ass backwards cooning, behavior. That shows that they were, huh?
No, I was gonna say, when I was coming up, that was a no-no.
Yeah, definitely a no-no for outsider to even dream about saying that shit. And then now if Nick Fuentes was around people like me, he wouldn't say that shit, because he knows I would slap him. I would bitch slap him. If he was around people like us, he wouldn't even he would be watching his mouth real good. And if there were some real sisters on that show, they'd have been like, don't you say it, or we're gonna beat your ass. Okay, but the reason why
bowed to the pressure, man. I think everybody just bowed to the
No, that's how they are. They ain't bowed to no pressure. That's how they are. Absolutely. Those women, they fantasize about being with white men. They fantasize about being their slaves. Those type of black women do. They weren't under no pressure. They weren't under, because the one girl got mad and she left. The one girl got mad and left. One of the girls at the end of the podcast left. Okay. And also when they knew better when Myron put on that Klan thing, and they didn't get up and walk away. They didn't say anything to him like what the fuck you doing?
That should have cleared the house right there.
Yes. So I'm not gonna say they deserve to get death threats, but they definitely deserve to get people to comment and on their Instagram or wherever they be at. They deserve people giving them a hard time. People should be in their comments giving them a hard time.
Well, brother, let's start wrapping up, man. We had 2 hours 16 minutes. And I think we made our point on the Nick Fuentes situation and the Fresh and Fit situation. I don't have nothing against Fresh and Fit, man. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like them. I don't have nothing against them personally, but I just feel like sometimes they send out the wrong message because they're immigrants and they don't really understand the situation here and the traumas that we've gone through. They can't relate to that. And so they don't see this stuff as hurtful. They see it as funny. But if you was to go back to, Myron and start talking about how the Moors was lopping off heads of the Arabs, right? And we were making fun of that, right? Then it would be, well, he would have an issue because he could relate.
Of course he would. Fresh and Fit, the way I feel about them is, I hope their show gets canceled, and I got a lot against them because they're always bashing black people. They're always talking shit, but they never talk bad about their people. Everybody wants to come over here and talk about African Americans, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of I'm sick of Caribbeans. I'm sick of Africans. I'm sick of Arabs doing it when back home in their countries they're poor. Myron would be angry if you talked about the stuff that goes on where his parents are from. Myron's just a punk. Myron's a punk ass bitch. He can only act tough on his own platform. He's a fucking bitch. For real. Because Myron, if he goes on anybody else's platform, he gets clowned. And what he does is when someone starts getting on him or giving him pushback, he'll kick them off the show, or he'll start calling them stupid. He'll throw people off the show. Myron's nothing but a punk ass bitch.
He definitely will kick the women off.
Definitely, because they're not subservient to him. So those women, he picked the right kind of women that were on the cool stuff. And that little girl talking about she's conscious. She the one in that show 3 times. That shows you how dumb she is. One time is all you need to see.
Yeah, you don't sound too conscious to me because I don't think a conscious.
No. She's not. Here's the thing. She talking conscious, but her actions are not conscious. Wasn't no conscious girl going no goddamn show. One time you'd be like, oh, I'm not coming back on that show.
Say the N-word. They definitely wouldn't encourage that. I don't think.
No.
Hey, Diamond, let's get some. Let me get your closing remarks, man, because we're gonna get up out of here. What is your?
Well,
what do you want to
my closing remarks is when people do coon stuff, we need to make their life a living hell and make everybody scared to do any coon shit, because it's been enough coon shit going on with celebrities doing it, with people on YouTube and stuff like that doing that BS. We need to double down on these people even harder. We need to come down on them even harder for doing it. So we need to stop the coon stuff, because that's what's holding us back. They embarrassed the whole black race. They made us look like shit. It's disgusting. They're encouraging them to say the word nigga. You got white people thinking they can say it, then get down. You tell them no, we're not those coons over there. We're some real black people. You know that. So Myron, you know, it's that dude. He's disgusting. And there are black people who were on that, who are working for Myron and the other dude that also okayed that stuff too, because they're a bunch of coons as well. But we got to understand that we're living in a world where it's okay now to be a coon, and they don't. And the only thing I'm gonna say to that black girl
is okay. Let me clear this up. Everything is okay, brother, as long as you're getting money. Everything is okay as long as you're getting money in today's world. So if
that's a shame. But here's what I'm gonna say to that lady. When she sees Dr. Umar, she needs to kiss him on both cheeks, and that'll straighten everything out. And when she sees you, she needs to kiss you on both cheeks.
Dr. Umar will never be on Fresh and Fit. Never.
No. I mean, when she sees Dr. Umar someplace else, when she sees him someplace else, she needs to kiss him on both cheeks. And when she sees you, she needs to kiss you on both cheeks. Not me, because I'm married. You married or?
No, I am married.
Okay, so she can't kiss you on the cheek.
No.
But Dr. Umar's not married, so in order for her to make up for what she has done, she got to kiss Dr. Umar on both cheeks.
All right, brother, I appreciate you coming up, man. I appreciate you putting up with me with all my pushbacks and stuff. You know,
It's all good, man.
I'm a real anal person, and I like to be very clear on everything, man. So sometimes I may say, wait a minute, Diamond, let me ask you this question on this or that. You know what I mean? You might say something, and I may say, well, wait a minute, man, that wasn't kind of clear. Let me make sure it's really clear. So thank you for entertaining me, brother. All right, I'm going to pull you down, man. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. And I'm going to pull you down.
Okay, man. You have a good one, my brother.
You too, man. You come back anytime, brother. You're welcome here anytime.
I'll be back, man. I'll be back.
Right, brother. We're going to be looking.
All right, man.
All right. That was Brother Diamond X. All right. Hold on, y'all, man. Let me turn the light on in here, man. All right, I'm good. All right, y'all. Let's do the wrap up and let's get up out of here. Let's get up out of here. All right, y'all. What y'all think about Fresh and Fit? What y'all think about that situation? Are they coons? My brother Diamond called them coons, right? They were certainly moving like that. I don't know, man. They certainly moving like that. I don't know. But I don't know them well enough to call them coons. I definitely say they are inconsiderate idiots, definitely. But I don't know. To me, a coon is a person that has knowledge of our situation, but is willing to get in bed with people that don't want to see us do well, just for money or clout, or just to have them to like them. They have some kind of sickness where they think if I have a white friend or I have white friends, I'm somehow better than people that don't have white friends or have less white friends. I got more white friends than you, so I got more stature, right? I don't care if you got one white friend or 1,000 white friends. What matters is the kind of person you are in the inside, right? We can't see, man. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Color is something that was introduced to us. That was nothing that we would never really doing stuff like that. but that was introduced to us because with color came class. Well, excuse me, with class came first, then colorism. And the real situation is the classism. See, the classism is the real situation. But the just like the ozone layer, yes, sir. Thank you. All right, brother. Just like the ozone layer, there's the stratosphere and this sphere, that there's different. I think there's like 9 spheres, of the ozone, right? There's different levels, right? There's different levels. Well, there's different levels to classism. Capitalism is one of the levels of classism because it just separates people for different things, man. That's what classism. All it is you separating people by whatever border you want to set up, right? Money, right? Heredity, right? The bloodlines, whatever, education, environment, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say. That's what that's the real issue, right? Underneath the classism is the racism. See, the racism, racism is what poor people are able to, that's what can keep poor people at bay, or bourgeoisie people at bay, right? The bourgeoisie class is there to keep the poor people at bay, right? Because the bourgeoisie, they are the ones that walk around thinking they better than the lower class people of whatever that means. And so that they keep the bourgeoisie, take the arrows for the higher people that's up there who are the super rich people. But they need a buffer class, as Minister Farrakhan told us. They need a buffer class to keep the people mad at the buffer class. The people, they're angry at instead of them being angry at the super rich, the 10% bloodsuckers, they mad at the 15% of, that have some knowledge, and they can see them trying to make changes and make moves, good or bad, and they mad at those people, right? But the 10% blood, the 10% bloodsuckers, man, they get away, right? They get away, man. And the poor righteous teachers, nobody wants to listen to the poor righteous teachers, right? Nobody wants to listen to the 5%ers, man. The poor righteous teachers that they trying to teach the people, man. And but don't get stuck on the classism. Don't get stuck on the colorization. Always look to be around people that's going to treat you right. I don't care what their color is. I don't care what their class is. If people going to treat you right, that's all that should matter. Me and my brother Diamond, we agree to disagree, right? He say, man, you're going to be pro-black. You should be just dating black people. I want black people to be together. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to rule out dating other people from other races if you can't find the kind of woman you want or the kind of man you want, right? You see, the bad part about it is you need to find out what you're looking for and try to find the character of a good man, because if you finding bad black men, you're going to go jump the fence and go over there and date white men. You're going to probably start dating bad white men. Probably that's what you're going to do, right? What we need to do, man, we need to start focusing on character. That's what we need to start focusing on. Once we feel like we sexually attracted to this person, right? We're attracted to them. Okay, we physically attracted to them. Okay, now we got that over with. Now it's time to dig deeper. And one of them, let me tell you something that you should always look for in a spouse. You should always look for this in a spouse. Will this person listen to what I'm saying? I just had this conversation with my son the other day. Will this person listen? There's a difference between hearing and listening. The difference between hearing And listening is you can hear what I said, but you don't do nothing. But when you listen to what somebody say, you listen, you able to take it and act on what you heard and try to make something happen. Right? That's the difference between listening and hearing. Both activities you're using your ears, but one uses the brain more and one uses the brain less. If you just hear somebody, yeah, I heard you. Right? I told my son one time, I said, hey man, I said, go and run me some bath water, right? He said, all right. About 30 minutes later, I go in there to go get ready to get in the tub, and then there's water in there. I said, man, what? I go get him. I said, hey, man, what happened? I thought I asked you to run me some bath water. He said, oh, I thought you told me not to run you some bath water. I said, he said, I wasn't sure what you said, but I thought that's what I thought you said. I said, well, why didn't you check with me? Check with me and find out. Be sure what I said. Right? Now I got to wait a whole another 30 more minutes for you to run this, for this bathwater to run. And I had plans, right? I was going to do some stuff. But in picking mates, I disagree with the whole, to be pro-black, you have to have a dark jet black woman. And where's the cutoff? Where's the cutoff? Right? Can I have a high yellow woman? Can I have a, interracial person, a biracial person? Or do they have to be 100% black, which none of us are 100%, but are they have to be Geechee black? I mean, see, this is where I fall out of line with the pro-black people or the other pro-black people, because I'm pro-black. But this is where I fall out of line with them, out of alignment with them, because I feel like I don't care what you're doing. If you want to help us, help us. I don't care what you do. And I'm not gonna say, well, you out of the limits. Or this is a better example. We have black men today. That have gone to school. They worked hard. They studied, but they're not the best with the swag. They don't have that swag, right? As New Growth said, that swag. They don't have that swag. Oh, my wife. They don't have that swag. They don't have that swag. So the girls are not giving them no play. Well, the girls that they would be sexually attracted to are not giving them no play. So are you telling me I have to date somebody just because they black, but I'm not sexually attracted to them? But I'm not sexually attracted to them. I got to date somebody just because they black? I don't roll with that. I don't roll with that. I've seen too many dudes make that mistake. Hold on. Let me pay attention. Let me just tell my wife I'm going to call her. I'm about to get off right now. I done seen too many people make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. If you find love, and no matter what the package is in, take it. In a wicked world like this, and when I say love, I mean somebody that loves you. They love you. They're willing to grow with you. They're willing to listen to you. Tell them the same story over and over again. Tell them the same joke over and over again. They love you that much. They love you. They can watch you sleeping and they get that funny feeling in their stomach that, man, everything's going to be okay. I don't care what package the person come in. So that don't mean I can't help in this struggle because I'm doing this. That's like us telling our gay brothers, oh, we don't want your help over here because we doing the black thing. No. No. If you want to help us as best as you can. Obviously, we're going to have some differences on some issues, right? But hey, help us push the issues that you can, what you can agree with us on. Come on. The white people that want to help us, what you can agree with us on, come on. The Asians, the Latinos, what you can agree with us on, come on. We'll take your help. We can't be closed-minded no more. See, this is why I brought up Noah and Jesus and Moses, because these problems are getting so complicated. The society gets so complicated. See, there was a time where you could say, this bloodline is better than this bloodline. And this bloodline is better. And these people have went so far left, they are just out of the running. Only deal with these bloodlines, right? But see, today's all these bloodlines, the blood is all mixed up all over the place. So we can't use bloodlines anymore. We got to use character. We got to use character and vibration. Do you vibrate? Do you vibrate at the same rate as the God in the heaven want us to vibrate? Do you vibrate like that? Do you got the kind of character where you're a good person? We can't be around people just because they black. How many of us have been done in by somebody because they black? Because we just want to hang out with them because they was black. Don't get me wrong. I'm with. I want my brothers. I want to be with my brothers. I want to be with my sisters. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we can't limit it to that. There might be times where we have different meetings where it's just us. Yeah, okay, same thing. The Catholic Church, they do the same thing, right? The Jews, they do the same thing. They have meetings with just Jewish men in there. Catholic Church, just white men in there, right? Yeah, we might have to do stuff like that, but as far as, well, we're going to be like, well, you can't help us because you got a white wife. You can't help us because you got an Asian husband. I want you to find love in the black community, but if you can't, I want you to buy your clothes from black people. But if you can't, if they don't have no clothes for you, because we ain't producing them, then, I mean, I'm gonna tell you not to go to the Gap or not to go to white people and buy your clothes if they got the kind of clothes you need. They definitely making the best shoes on the market, right? The best performance shoes on the market. If you want to save your knee, if you want to have any kind of knees in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, you need to be playing basketball in some Nikes, right? You need to play in some good Nikes, some good, well-made Nikes with the air support. Give your knees some cushion. If not, watch these dudes that ain't playing with good support on their feet. They playing 83 games on top of 83 games. They practicing on top of practicing. They playing exhibition games on top of exhibition games. They running. They doing all this other stuff. Watch how they gonna be walking when they get to 40, 50 years old. They be walking like Charles Barkley, right? Barely can move, right? No, man. Love is blind. Love is blind. And we want love to stay blind. We don't want to say, hey, well, I'm only going to love a black person, a black woman. And if a black woman if I can't find one that love me, they say, keep looking. I've been looking. And here's this woman over here. She loved me. She want to treat me right. But she ain't black. But I got to throw her back because the movement said I can't do it. Man, F the movement. If I marry somebody of a different race, or I love her or whatever, and she loved me or whatever, and I can't be in the movement, See, that's what's happening now. That is what's happening now. We're pushing a lot of our people out. And the people that's left, they can't even make none of this shit work for them because they're too busy pushing people out of the situation. That could really help the situation. They too busy pushing people out, or you ain't got no black wife, you ain't got no black husband, so you can't do this and you can't do that. We got to stop being, and you talking to somebody who a Muslim in the Nation of Islam, right? I've taught to love black people, and I do. I love them. I'm trying to help them get out the situation that they in, right? I love them. But I'd help anybody if they really needed help. I help anybody. If they really needed help and they were sincere, they had the right spirit. Now, I'm not going to help a snake get out of the hole. Snake calls me from the hole and say, can you stick your hand down here so you can pull me out? No, I'm not going to do that. But if you got the right spirit, I'll help you. I don't care what your color is, man. Because I ain't helping you because of your color. I'm helping you because you need help. And the God in me help me. There's people that help me. There's white people that help me. I don't care what I don't care. There's somebody of another race that helped you at some point in the game. So to be all this, well, I ain't gonna do this. Just like there's some white people that was mean to me. There's some white people there's some black people that was mean to me. Right? So Tommy Sotomayor used to say, it's been more black people that's treated me wrong than white people. Obviously, you have more proximity to black people. Of course. Of course. But if all these people are treating you wrong, see, let me tell y'all something. If that many people are treating you wrong, then it begs the question, what are you doing? What's going on with you while all these people are trying to treat you wrong? If either you picking and choosing to be around people and you're not choosing these people correctly, or something within you that lets other people think that it's okay to take advantage of you. But see, we don't be honest with ourselves, man. We don't be honest. Gotta be honest with ourselves. So I just want y'all to know that I don't care what you want to call yourself, pro-black, this, that, whatever, call yourself whatever. But whatever you want to do, if you're going to help the black community or any community, but particularly our community, because we on life support right now. We are in a situation in the black community. We are in a situation where they pull those things out and they go, pew, boom, charge, right? What do they call that thing? An IED? What do they call that thing? They let it warm up. Those of y'all that took CPR, y'all know what I'm talking about, that IED. They pull the thing out the bag and go, pew, charge up. You put them up, you rub them together, and then boom, right? Put it on the person's chest, pow, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, that's where we at, man. We in cardiac arrest. You know what I mean? We in cardiac, spiritual, mental, physical, sexual arrest. Relationship arrest. We are on light. If the world was an ER room, they should be pulling us in right away. So that's why we focusing on the black people here, because we in the worst condition. Well, Clarence, is anybody else in bad condition? Yes, everybody's in bad condition. But we're the worst. Everybody else is standing on top of us, walking across the river, not getting wet because we willing to lay down for them. And then when something happens with us, hey, y'all gonna come over here and like that Asian dude shot that little boy from running out of his store. Here the boy's running out the store. Even if he stole the water, he running out the store. They shoot the boy in the back. No Asians come out and say, hey, that was wrong. We standing with you black people. We nothing. Right? Nothing. And that's happened so many times. So we gotta stop conflating everything and say, okay, this movement is just to get black people up to speed. You want to push black people past white people, past green, past Asian? No, we want to just get us up to speed. There's so much trauma in us. We trying to get us up to speed. I think everybody can relate to that. We can all understand that. Anyway, that's my thought. If you got anything you want to talk about, right? Because we got some stuff we got to talk about, right? See, people came out to hear me talk about Polite, right? And we're gonna do another show about Polite. That's a whole nother situation, but and some other stuff, right? But when I'm giving real good game, this is real good game right here. This is $1 million. This is $1 million game. Because what does it profit a man to have all this money and a succubus at home waiting to dig in your pockets that don't even love you in a proper manner? They love the fact that you're willing to go out and get money. They don't love you. See, we don't know how to choose people. You know, there was a time, y'all, when you had somebody in a relationship and your family, either your mother, your father, or somebody in your family said, when you bring this person to dinner so we can meet them. And we all sat at the table, right? I did this with my brother. I did this with my son. Son dating this little chick. I said, okay, bring her over. Let's meet her and her mother. See, that's what we did, man. We sit you down at the table and we start asking you questions. Young lady, what do you want to be in 3 or 4 years? Where do you want to go? What you trying to do? I don't think I'm gonna go to college because I want to do this, and this, right? Or I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm gonna do whatever, you know, whatever's clever, you know, whatever I can get by. I'm just trying to get by. Son, maybe not this one. Ixnay on Iswane, right? Yeah. Depending on how they answer, we evaluated the answers and we told our family, man, our loved one, hey, this person I think is not a good match for you. But at least they got some input. Now everybody trying to do it on their own. And what you got to go by? Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of Miami, niggas in New York, niggas in LA, right? Niggas in Arizona, right? Niggas doing tattoos in Chicago, right? I mean, you know, niggas in Baltimore, right? We don't have no shows, and all these shows are teaching dysfunction. But obviously, our people are eating it up. Not only us, but other races of people are eating it up. Because if they wasn't making no money with it, they would stop doing it. And most of the people that get to go on their show, they're so hard up for the money, they step in and do it. See, you don't hear about the people that they try to get on there and they say no. You don't hear about them people, right? They look for people that's in bad money shape. There's people man, I'm telling you, these big corporations, they know what they're doing. They find these people, man, that need money. They need money and they go on there and go get them to get that money. But you got to have some type of drama. You can't be on there, I love my wife. I'm not playing around on her. Right? Why do you think Papoose, him and Remy Ma, they was always getting, Remy Ma was on there, but Papoose was hardly ever on there, right? Because he's a real dude, man. He's a straight up dude, man. I'm not finna go around starting arguments with people. He ain't that type of cat. Papoose remind me of myself, man. I ain't gonna start nothing, but I'm definitely gonna make sure it gets finished, right? I'm not, but people don't want to see that. The people want to see that drama. Our people want to see that drama, especially. We're not learning how to have good relationships. We just learn how to create these functional relationships. Let's get back in the family, black man. Let's get back into the family. Integrate ourselves back into the family. Well, Clarence, she won't let me see the kids. Take her ass to court then. Take her ass to court. You gotta take her to court, man. But Clarence, man, you got money to go out. You got money to hang out with your friends. You got money to buy PlayStation games. You got money. So now you gotta boss up. Now you gotta boss up for something for real. These kids out here, man, they starving, man. And they starving, and they starving because we ain't paying child support, but they really starving for our attention as men. They don't know what it's like to have decent men paying them attention. It's always weirdos that's around. It's only weirdos around them, so they don't know what it's like to have a solid dude around them, man. They don't know what it's like. That's why I try to spend time with my granddaughter, man, so she can know what a solid cat is, man. She know what a solid dude look like. So when a weirdo try to roll up on her, she gonna get that energy. It's gonna be so weird. She gonna be like, ugh. Right? But we as black men, we gotta put that into these kids. We gotta put that in these kids by spending time with them. And we spend so much time with them. The creepos ain't got a chance. The creepos ain't got a chance. But when we out here, man, and our social life is more important than these kids, getting between the legs of some girl is more important than these kids. That's what's happening to the black community, man. It's going down the drain because we all are trying to get clicks, views, money, girls, men, whatever we trying to get, man. And these kids is going by the wayside. We letting the internet raise them. Back in the day, they used to say, don't let the TV raise your kids. Now it ain't the TV no more, man. It's the internet. Ain't nobody watching TV no more. Did you see ESPN just let go a bunch of people? They ain't making no money no more. Not off TV. Ain't nobody, I'm telling you, man, men, especially men, are not watching TV anymore. They're not. Men ain't watching TV no more. Men are doing other stuff, but they're not watching network TV anymore. That's why ESPN cut the Jalen Rose on dudes. They let them dudes go. Now, did they keep Malika Andrews? Of course they kept Malika Andrews. Why? Because guys are going to still tune in just to see her. They don't give a goddamn about Jalen Rose and the rest of those idiots down there. Not idiots, but the rest of those clowns. They don't care nothing about them. I mean, you know, who cares? Most guys, they'll look at ESPN just to see somebody they think is cute. Whether they agree with what she's saying or not, they don't care. They'd rather look at somebody cute than Jalen Rose, right? Charles Barkley, right? Okay. Telling you, man, more and more men's shows, sports shows are leaving. They're going to the internet. Pretty soon, men won't be watching network TV at all. At all. It's mostly like that now, right? Especially in the daytime, right? All the shows in the daytime are for women, right? Because the thinking process is that women are home all day, right? So they hit there, do all these shows for them, right? Mostly, right? But we as black men, we got to get back into the family. All right, y'all, we got to get out of here, man. We had 2 hours and 53 minutes. I think it was an okay show. I think it was pretty good, you know. I don't have a lot of smoke for Fresh and Fit. I don't really have a lot of smoke for them. Just because I don't agree with them, I'm not attacking their platform. I'm just saying I think that they misleading these young men who want long-term relationships. Now, unfortunately, they're converting a lot of young men that that might be interested in long-term relationships. Well, everybody's interested in long-term relationship. No, people just don't want to participate in the responsibility that comes with long-term relationships, right? And Fresh and Fit, talks to that audience that doesn't want to, have the responsibility, right? Because the Greeks and the Romans gave us 3 ways to remove responsibility away from sex, right? They gave us bestiality. They gave us homosexuality. And they gave us pedophilia. Those two cultures combined, they gave us those 3 ways, right? Because they wanted to have sex, but they wanted to remove the responsibility. So those 3 things, those 3 situations remove the possibility of conception. You're removing the possibility of conception. Therefore, you can have the sex. The responsibility that comes with conception has been removed, right? But when you take a society and you remove responsibility, the society is going to break down at some point. It's going to break down at some point. And that's what happened to the Greeks. That's what happened to the Romans. That's what happened to a lot of European people that got strong, and then if the thing fell apart, it just started unraveling, because once you take responsibility away from, especially the men, it's a wrap, yo. It's a wrap. Eventually, men stop wanting to protect their families. Once the men stop wanting to protect their families, you can't get a man that doesn't want to protect his family that's going to go out and protect his nation. If he ain't going to protect his family, he damn sure ain't going to protect his nation. It's what happened to the Greeks. It's what happened to the Romans. Happened to the Ethiopians. Happened to the Egyptians. Family, take my advice. All of us, even if you're not a man, but especially if you're a black man, come on, man. Reach back, dig in with your family, dig in with your children. You got children that don't live with you. That's unfortunate. But it doesn't take away our responsibility, man. We got to get back into these kids' lives, man. There's so much weighing in the balance here. So much weighing in the balance. We got to get back into these kids' lives. Can we agree on that, family? Especially us as men. We just got to step back in there. But Clarence, I ain't seen my daughter in 4 or 5 years. I know, man. She gonna be pissed. But that's on you. You gotta keep trying. You gotta keep trying. Well, I ain't gonna keep trying because she says she don't want to see me. Why would she want to see you after you ain't said nothing to her for 4 or 5 years? You gotta smooth that over. You and me, we gotta smooth that over. But we ain't got enough humility to do it. That's the problem, right? We ain't got the humility to say, these kids need me. These kids need me. We ain't got a sense of duty, right? These kids need me. I cannot fail. I cannot fail. I cannot fail these kids. I'm here. And whenever they're ready, I'll be waiting for them. They may be mad at me now, but at some point, they're going to reach out to me. I'll be here. Anyway, family, let me get out of here. I'm going to let y'all go. Let me do the rundown real quick, man. Shout out to the chat. Chat's where it's at. Everybody did great in the chat. Thank you, everybody who bossed up and came in through the chat. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very, very, very much. Shout out to the chat. Very solid performance from the chat, as always. Very strong. What about Patrice? Patrice came up. What about on the panel today? Patrice came up on the panel, right? What is wrong with Patrice, man, going into the casino, man? Patrice. Man, y'all, we're going to get together, send Patrice some of the meals that you can, the meals that come prepackaged. You can just stick them in the microwave. We got to send her some of those, Patrice, man. Keep her out of that casino, right? But I got a feeling she ain't going for the food. She going for that little taste of the bubbly, right? Oh man. But she did well. She did well, as always, right? As always. Very solid. Very solid. Very solid. She was talking, and even though the casino music was going, we had to listen, right? Because she was hitting some points. Shout out to Patrice. Very solid, very strong as always. Shout out to you, sis. What about Brother Diamond Axe? Brother Diamond Axe came through, right? And what I like about Diamond Axe is he reminds me of New Growth, man. I can push him a little bit, and he will take it, right? He'll take that hit, and he'll still get back up and come marching right towards me again, right? Patrice said, I can still hear you. Oh man, and then this girl had a nerve to do don't y'all say nothing about me, because I heard Diamond's background and it's got all kind of stuff on it, so don't y'all say nothing about me, right? All right, me and Diamond like, oh, okay. But finally, man, I can Patrice. Oh my God. We gotta take a break. Man. The music is killing us. Wait till you hear it on this side, Patrice. Listen to it, and then you say, "Oh my God!" Now I see what they were talking about. All right, let's see. But don't you not call me if you in there. Don't you not check in if you in there. I don't care. I don't care about the music, man. As long as you check in, that's cool. So, but yeah, don't you not check in. We just clowning you a little bit, but no, I don't care where you go. You call it Costco, you go to the casino, you go to the laundromat, wherever you go, you're always welcome to check in, sis. You know that, so don't trip. We just clowning you a little bit. All right, but what did Patrice do? I was talking about Diamond Axe. Yeah, he was solid, man. Solid dude, man. Solid dude. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully whatever he working on, he can make that happen, man. So we can get some stuff done around here, man. But very solid performance, very strong, as always, for Diamond Axe, man. He never comes in and not give us some jewels to chew on. So shout out to Diamond Axe. What about Jay Takashi? Dipped his toe in for a minute, man. He said he had an accident. I was like, damn, I didn't know he had an accident. See, that's the thing, man. People think you know everything, right? People think we all know what's going on with each other, right? We don't. I mean, especially now I'm back working, man. I don't know nothing. If Patrice or Rico or Vaughn or just any of my people, they don't send me something saying, "Hey, man, check this out," I won't know. I'll be like, "What? I didn't even know this was an issue," right? Because I just stay in my lane. I don't, how many times Sister Annie had gotten on me for getting off this porch, man? I stay on the porch. Unless I get a good, I'll tell you what, I'll go off the porch when I get a good. Now, Black Man Unfiltered invites me over, but here's the thing I can't really get with Black Man Unfiltered, man. He likes to load up those panels with 10 people. I can't see getting on a panel and just sitting there for 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, not saying anything. And then, the last time I did that was the lead attorney, man. I'm not going to sit there in the back chat for 2 or 3 hours and him bring me up and say, "Okay, what you got to say?" And I go, "Well, let me say this and that." And he go, "Thank you, appreciate you. We'll talk to you later." Right? Sat back there for 2.5 hours, right? You like, I was an idiot. Why did I do that? Why was I an idiot? Why would I do that? So now if I watch the lead attorney, I'll just watch people throw money at him. Hey, they throwing money at him. You make it through $3,000 a live stream. Hey, cool. Good for you. Good for you. More power to you, right? I don't hate on nobody, man. I know people think I got problems with the boss crew. I ain't got no problem with nobody, man. I don't got no problem with Fresh and Fit. I don't even have no problem with Polite. I really don't. I don't even know this cat. I don't know these people to be having a oh, I hate them. I want to get them. I want to close their channel down. I want to do it. Man, come on, man. I don't know these people like that. You know what I'm saying? I hope they put out good content, but if they don't, they don't. That's on them. Huh? That ain't my fault. That's on them. Anyway, Diamond X, Jay Takashi did a good job. Come in, dipped his toe in a little bit, but he had an accident, man. So y'all go over there and show him some love if you can, man. Just go over to his channel and show him some love. Okay, we're gonna get out of here, y'all. The next time we're gonna be back. What's today? Thursday? We're gonna be back for the Sunday show. I'm gonna start doing some more pre-recorded stuff, right? Because I got a lot of things I want to talk about, but it's hard to talk about them on live stream, right? Because the time is so, we so involved with the time. But I'm gonna start doing some more pre-recorded stuff, man. To give y'all some more stuff, because Brother Clarence ain't gonna be here forever, man. So try to give y'all some stuff that y'all can have when I'm. Patrice said, "Bro, stop it. You don't have a problem with these males. I can't. Not personally, Patrice. I don't know them, right? I'm not like, well, I'm up at night, I'm sleeping in the bed, I'm like, oh, fresh and fit, oh, polite. I'm not like that, man. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I may have a problem with something they doing, but I don't know them personally, so I ain't hating on them, or I got no issue with them personally. I don't know you. I just know that you did X. You did X. So you should get what's coming to you for doing X. But as far as, I hate you, I want to do this to you, I want to do that to you, and I'm just sitting around thinking about, I'm just brewing about it all day. Man, come on, man. At least not me. I got way better, bigger fish to fry than polite and fresh and fit. Yeah, I got way bigger fish to fry than them. But man, shout out to you. But see, but hey, y'all see, man, Patrice get on your behind. That's it. It's a wrap for you. Why you think I ain't gonna get Risa? I ain't gonna get Sister Annie. I ain't gonna get Patrice. That's the man. Don Harden, Don Frank, Quantum. I'm not getting none of these people mad at me. I know, man, I'm not getting these sisters mad at me. I already know how they roll, right? They'll love you. But if you push the wrong button, they gonna come after you with a stick. And Patrice ain't got no stick. Patrice and Risa, they ain't gonna use a stick. They got something else for you, right? You're gonna hear that popping, and then you're gonna be running, and you're gonna hear that popping. You're gonna be like, oh man, what was that? Firecrackers? Then you go, all of a sudden you feel your behind burning. You're like, oh. Patrice said they're a detriment to our communities, yo. I hear you, Patrice, and I agree with that. I do. I just, like I said, I don't know Dr. York. I don't know Polite. I don't know none of these people personally, right? So I'm not like, I don't have that kind of connection to the situation where I'm personally like, I want to do this and that to you. No, I just want you away from the kids, and I want you to get the punishment you deserve for what you did, and then I want you to get the help. I want you to get the help, because I know you're gonna come back out here. But part of the condition of you coming back out here is you gotta show us that you got at least went to the classes. Now, does that mean that stuff gonna stick? It may not stick, but at least we made you go. At least we made you go. So, you know what I'm saying? If you ever get caught up again, now we know class ain't gonna help you. We got to give you more time, right? So, yeah, but I'm with you on that, Patrice. I mean, I didn't say I loved them. Damn, Patrice. I didn't say I love these people. I just said I ain't all emotionally connected to it. I'm just like, okay, I think it's a horrible thing that most of them did. A horrible, man. They done some horrible stuff. And they deserve whatever's coming to them for it. You know what I'm saying? But shit. After I leave the internet, I leave the internet on the internet. I'm not like gonna go home and be like thinking and sit in my chair and be like, damn, polite. Nah. I ain't giving none of that. Now, I'm no. But that's me, and that's Patrice. See, we different people. Patrice gonna always have that torch ready to burn your behind, right? You do something faulty, Patrice already gonna burn your behind. Now I'll burn your behind if you do something directly, but if I don't know you, I'm gonna want to see justice happen. But as far as like being like that emotionally attached to it, probably won't be, man. Probably won't be. All right, y'all. We out of here. Sunday show, Black History Minute, the Hit Parade, Saving Black Boys. We got to get back to saving Black boys and saving the Black family, right? OG Patrice said, I'm straddling the fence. How am I straddling the fence, Patrice? I'm telling you, man. I don't know what do you want me to do, Patrice? You want me to be just like walking around mad at somebody I've never even met? I can't. What you want me to do? I mean, I don't like the fact of what they did either. I don't like that. Especially Polite. That situation with Polite and Dr. York. Shout out to Arshawn, by the way. If you haven't already subscribed to Critically Drinking, get on over and subscribe to Critically Drinking. Arshawn said, oh, she said fence straddling. Good night, y'all. You close piano, Arshawn. No, this girl love me, man. She just telling me how she feel. But I mean, I just don't see it. But she'll tell me. She'll tell me later, Arshawn. She'll say, Clint, this is what I was talking about. Boom, 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 boom. All right. I'm just saying, I don't know these people. I would probably be more emotionally involved with it if it happened to my family member, if it happened to my granddaughter or something like that. I probably would be more like, more emotionally involved with it. But, a dude that did that, I want everything that him got coming to him. I want it to happen, right? If that means his hair got to roll, hey, I'll be the one I'll lop it off. I ain't got no problem with that. But, I ain't gonna be like, I'm sorry, Polite. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to see you go. I'll be like, wink. She said, no, but you say I got nothing against him. I do. They're not good for our communities. Okay. I mean, I'm saying personally, Patrice, I don't have nothing against the guy. In other words, outside of this situation here and the scamming, I don't have nothing. I didn't walk into the situation having something against him. The only reason why I'm talking about the dude is because of the stuff he did. That's what I mean by that. I wouldn't be saying nothing about Polite if he hadn't scammed these dudes and then especially the situation with this little girl. If he hadn't done those things, I know he's not not too good of a businessman, but hey, that's on him, right? The part I got the problem with is the scamming and so they're not good for the community, and they should be dealt with. Where are we in a difference? Where are we having the gap in understanding? Because I'm with you on things need to be handled. I'm with you on that. You must be thinking that I'm saying that Polite they should just have kid gloves on. I'm not saying that. And if they want to give him 50 years, give him the 50 years. If they want to lop his head off, hey, I'll be the first one. I'll be the one with the machete. Poop. Right? Got no problem. Arshawn said, she said you were a fence straddling, doggy paddling, flip flopper, Sunday topper, stream never ender, hide your keys beneath the fender, cap wearing, microphone blaring, great debater, content creator. That's how you know you're dealing with somebody smart. When they can throw a bunch of insults at you and but they make it sound good. No. I mean, I don't know, but hey, y'all. If any one of y'all think that I don't think Polite is guilty and deserves to, I hope I don't want to put that out there because I don't know. I don't want anyone to think that I think that. I absolutely think that Polite is guilty at 100%. He should get the maximum they gonna do with him. Just like Dr. York, he should get the maximum, right? And if he gotta go and we need somebody to pull the guillotine switch, I'm here, right? I'm here. I just, I'm just saying I didn't come into it with like a preconceived, I hate Polite already before the scamming and all that stuff. I knew about Polite, and I'd heard some things, but like I said, I didn't do business with him, so I didn't have nothing about it. You know what I mean? So Arshawn said, nah, we know you don't like the way people move. I understand not knowing the people. OG just saying we know them about what they do. Yeah. Plus Patrice don't play that with the kids, man. Patrice don't play. I don't either. But I think Patrice, being a mother and being a female, I think she looks at it. She has a little more angst on it than I do. I just say, when are we lopping his head off? Where are we doing it, and when? That's how I look at it. Like, okay, when are we doing it? What are we doing? When we doing it? And I'm moving on to the next one. But, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Arshawn, this girl loved me so much, man. What can she do? What can she do? She going to tell me when I'm wrong, though. That's one thing I do love about her. One of the things I love about her, she will tell me when I'm wrong. She has pulled me to the side many times, Arshawn, and said, bro, see, I don't think this is too cool. And sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I listen. Let me take that back. Most of the time I listen. And the only time I've had problems is when I didn't listen, right? But man, y'all will be lucky if you have somebody like Patrice in your corner, right? That'll tell you when you're wrong and tell you when you're right. Tell you because she's gonna tell you when you're right too. But but definitely when she think you moving Fugazi style, she gonna tell you, man. And a person like me, I need that. Yeah. You got Patrice on your team, man. Take that advice. Yeah, definitely be smart, Arshawn. I'm gonna try to be smart like you and listen to her this time. I will go back and look at it and see what I said. Maybe I said something faulty. So I got good sense, Arshawn. I agree with Patrice when I can, man. I got good sense, man. All right, y'all. We got to shut it down, man. Okay, we're gonna be back on Sunday. Now I'm gonna try to figure out a topic for Sunday. Because see, it's a thing, man. I like the fact that we got a lot of views last time, but if I gotta be throwing rocks at Polite just to get views, man, that's not what we're gonna be doing. We still gonna go back to our same program of trying to help our people, man. Whether it's talking about Polite or not talking about Polite. So I don't think Polite will be on the issue. I think I'm gonna go into this Adam 22 thing because that's a very serious issue where this man is trying to deal with the fact that he is letting his wife, and I think it's becoming I think people are getting married out of they're making business arrangements instead of love, and so I think that's leading us down this path where we can get into certain type of lifestyles and stuff like that. So I think I may talk about that, but we'll see. Quick question, yes sir. What you need, Arshawn? Man, I always gonna listen to the smart people, y'all. They smart. Right? I smart. Now Patrice smart too. So I gotta listen to her, man. Even though yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, here's Arshawn's question. Okay, if the audience prefers the mess, do we owe it to them to provide a message inside some of the mess? Stick to our message. What's my perspective? Okay, my perspective is this, man. If your audience prefers the mess, then you might have to give it to them every once in a while, right? Depending on your level of being able to handle how much mess, right? Your poop quotient, as they say. They used to say in the real estate game, your poop quotient, right? If you can handle a lot of it, might want to do a little, but do it more, right? Me, I really can't handle it, and you can see even when I did this thing on Polite, man, even when they did this on Fresh and Fit, I don't attack them personally. I just look at what they did and I just talk about what the actual issue, you know. But a lot of people want you to attack the person and all that. But I just look at the issue, right? But I think you're going to, now, it depends on what you want to do, Arshawn, okay? If you want viewers, give them what they want. If you want viewers, if you want high numbers, give them what they want. But if you want integrity, you might have to do something else to keep your integrity. So it's the decision that we have to make as content creators. And we have to make this decision every day, right? We have to make this decision every day. What am I going to do? How am I going to attack this? Right? If I attack it this way, I'm going to get a lot of people to watch. But if I attack it this way, I can put out a better message. Well, at the end, right? Well, which one you going to do, player? You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, we all have to do it. I see you struggling with that sometimes too, right? But all of us are struggling with that, Arshawn, because we like, man, we want to give these people something. We want to entertain them, but at the same time, we want to educate them, right? Because I was listening to you the other day, man. You was breaking down a bunch of different stuff, right? Half the stuff was going over everybody's head, right? But I was like, okay, you know, but it's hard because you want to, the people, they got this little tiny cup, right? You trying to pour a big gulp into that little tiny cup they got, right? And they can't handle it, right? So we got to mix a little bit at a time. We got to give them a little bit at a time, you know what I'm saying? Because they got to take, now when you're talking about mess, they got this big, super duper big gulp, super big one, right? The big gulp mug, right? Where you know, you can go and it take like 5 minutes to fill it up with ice, right? In the thing, right? It barely fits in there, right? But that's what the people got. They got a big glass for the mess. But when you're talking about, you know, good stuff that'll help them in their lives, they bring this little cup in there, right? Let me see what Arshawn talking about. Let me see what Bro C talking about. And they come in, oh man, I don't want to talk about that. Here we go with the Lord. Again, here we go. Let me get up out of here, right? Okay. But yeah, man, it's a decision we all got to make. And you know, I say, do what you feel is best, what your best desire is, man. If you want the view, and I'm not talking about you personally, Arshawn, but I'm just saying that content creator, do what you know, Fresh and Fit, they go for the view, man. They got 1.5 million subscribers. The last time I talked about Fresh and Fit, they had about 400,000. That was probably a year ago. They got 1.5 million subscribers. Obviously, they know how to get subscribers, right? Right? Put women in studio, degrade and debase and degrade, repeat, right? All right. Get people to sign up for the Patreon, repeat. Okay. All right. That gets them. But see, me, my integrity means more to me than all that to me. I'd rather when it's all said and done, because you know, Bro C ain't gonna be here forever. When it's all said and done and they go back and look at my catalog, they'll see that I was pretty consistent, you know what I mean, about trying to help our people get up out the mess they're in, right? And it was them that forsaked me, not me that forsake them. It was I tried to bring people up here like Patrice and Rico and Vaughn and Annie and Risa and people that in yourself that really care about the community, right? So, you know, hopefully we keep our integrity, y'all. Arshawn said the Whatever podcast did the Fresh and Fit formula, and because they have a different look, 4 million subs. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, you know, the only problem I got with Fresh and Fit is that they're teaching some bad stuff. That's my only problem with them. I don't even know those guys, man. Like a lot of guys attack them. A lot of people attack them personally. I don't even know those guys to attack them personally. I don't know them. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't do it. I probably would just say, hey, this is where I disagree with them on. Right? I don't know. But especially I don't know these cats. I never met them. I don't know. I don't think they have a good product, but obviously I could be wrong, right? People could look at it like this. Hey, you got 1.5 million subscribers. You got 800 subscribers. Obviously, they know a little something more than you know. Or is it they willing to do some things I ain't willing to do? I'm willing to sit on 800 subscribers. I'm willing to sit on that. That's fine with me. If I can teach one or two of them 800, and one or two of those people come and say, you know what, brother, I appreciate that you did this because that really helped me. I was going through this issue at this time. Just like it's going to happen to you, Arshawn, when somebody going to come up to you and send you that email saying, man, keep doing what you're doing, right? If you haven't already got it, keep doing what you're doing, man. You need to keep going because I was not feeling too good one day and I would listen to you and change my whole thing around. Is that worth 1 million subscribers? Is that one person worth 1 million subscribers, 2 million, 4 million subscribers? He is, man, to me. But hey, you know, everybody's gonna do their thing. Anyway, any more questions, Arshawn? Because if not, man, I'm gonna get on out of here, man, before Sister Annie come up here. Excuse me. I'm coming up. I told you, Clarence, it's 3 hours and 25 minutes. I'm coming up there. I'm going to shut it down myself, right? I'm going to have to do that, man. I'm going to have to give it Sister Annie the password to get in here, man. Shut this thing down, right? Good night, my brother. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. If you haven't already subscribed to Arshawn over at Critically Drinking, go over to Critically Drinking and check them out, man. Because you know what I'm saying, they do a good podcast, and it makes you think, man. You know, you can go over there. You can challenge Arshawn. You can ask him questions, and you know he may agree with you. He may not agree with you, right? Whatever, right? And so, you know, but the main thing is we got this exchange of ideas. It's a safe place to exchange ideas most of the time, right? Shout out to Critically Drinking. Shout out to Yellow and Bree and all of them over there. All right, we're gonna get out of here, y'all. We'll be back on Sunday. All right, for the big show. All right, y'all. See ya. Peace.